In the depths below, where the earth folds onto itself and shadows breathe, lie tales of survival against the unyielding silence of nature. Here, where time stands still and pathways twist into labyrinthine secrets, we uncover courage that defies comprehension. From the relentless embrace of Utah's canyons holding Aron Ralston captive for 127 hours, to the chilling echo of John Edward Jones' final moments in Nutty Putty Cave, each story whispers of human will against the ancient call of the void. Journey with us into the chasms and corridors, where life hangs by a fragile thread and the spirit's endurance is forged in the crucible of darkness. In the hushed symphony of Utah's Blue John Canyon, nature whispers secrets in the language of the wind, beckoning those who venture into its solitary embrace. It is in this silent, timeless landscape of stone and sky that Aron Ralston embarked on a path that would test the very essence of human endurance and spirit in unimaginable ways. Drawn to the wilderness as if by an unspoken promise, Aron was a seeker of solitude and challenge, a wanderer whose heart beat in harmony with the wild. From his youth, Aron's soul resonated with the call of the untamed. Climbing majestic peaks and traversing remote landscapes were not merely pursuits, but a way of life, a calling that demanded everything from him, yet offered serenity and the thrill of discovery. This profound connection with nature, this unquenchable thirst for exploration, steeled him for the trials that would come to define his journey, even as the elements themselves conspired against him. It was on April 26, 2003, beneath an azure sky, that Aron set forth from his Colorado home, his destination the surreal beauty of Utah's canyonlands. With each confident stride, he was embraced by the canyon's ancient arms, unaware that this sacred silence, once a source of peace, would transform into a crucible of survival. Nature, ever the enigmatic companion, turned betrayer in an instant when a massive boulder, an ancient sentinel of rock, dislodged and pinned his arm against the canyon wall. The serene landscape became a prison, a new reality from which there seemed no escape. Night descended, cloaking Aron in its chilling grasp as the sun slipped beyond the horizon. In this haunting solitude, beneath a canopy of stars, the true gravity of his predicament settled upon him. Darkness ushered in isolation, yet it was under this vast, starlit vault that Aron began his internal reckoning. Alone and immobile, his mind became a theater of struggle, a place where hope flickered amidst encroaching despair. The situation was dire, yet Aron met it with the clarity that emerges from a lifetime spent in the embrace of nature's teachings. He took stock of his immediate surroundings, assessing the sparse resources at hand: a small amount of water, a few provisions, and a utility tool. Simple items that now carried the weight of life. Each became a symbol of resilience, a focus in the battle to stave off the abyss, as the mind of an engineer graphed plans for survival. Time drifted slowly, each moment carved from efforts to suppress the rising tide of despair. The days turned over with punishing regularity, every tick of elapsed time a reminder of both vulnerability and resolve. Yet in this solitude, Aron discovered a dialogue with himself and the universe, a communion with the silent forces of endurance and the immutable strength of hope. Through these meditative reflections, he uncovered a truth that transcended the immediate struggle, that within him resided a boundless capacity for resilience. Amidst the bleakness, Aron's mind crafted innovative solutions, testament to the power of creativity when survival hangs in the balance. Each fleeting inspiration, Each engineered workaround to the limitations of his situation was not just about leveraging physical resources, but tuning into an inner reservoir of tenacity and belief. Such innovations, born of necessity, revealed lessons in patience and an understanding that the greatest obstacles lay not in the stone that entombed him, but in mastering the disquiet of his own psyche. With each stark dawn, Aaron's resolve hardened against the frigid air, a testament to the timeless stories of endurance, once thought mythical, that now found embodiment in his solitary vigil. His existence became a tableau of resilience, echoing the struggles of ancient warriors whose tales were writ large upon history's tapestry. Aaron's endurance became an anthem of the spirit, an elemental confrontation where hope served as both compass and guide. On the fifth day, within the silence of the canyon, a profound decision crystallized amidst the flurry of failed attempts and reflections. This was a turning point, an epiphany that propelled him towards liberation. With the dawn of realization, Aaron chose to sacrifice part of himself in order to reclaim the whole, an act not born of desperation, but a transformative commitment to life itself. In this harrowing choice, his journey transcended the physical, becoming a story of courage and the fierce will to persist. In an extraordinary act of audacity and bravery, Aaron severed his trapped limb. This decision was not merely an escape from his stone-bound captivity, but a rebirth into the vibrant realm of possibility and freedom. With each heartbeat, with each drop of blood on the ancient soil, his journey into a new dawn unfolded. He emerged from the shadowed confines of the canyon, a phoenix risen, transformed by the fires of adversity. Yet his challenges did not end with liberation. A grueling trek lay ahead, a journey across harsh terrain back to the world of the living. It was a pilgrimage of resilience as each step carried him from the brink of oblivion toward the promise of civilization and the embrace of safety. The barren landscape served as both trial and testament to his indomitable will, until a serendipitous encounter with a family of hikers marked the boundary between peril and rescue. In the ensuing days, Aaron's reflections wove a narrative of transformation. The indelible memories of his trial etched themselves into his consciousness as solemn reminders of life's fragility and the ever-turning wheel of fate. These introspections birthed insights into survival, into the nature of hope and redemption, and into the radiant resilience of the human soul. As the years unfurled, Aaron embraced a new perspective on his life-altering experience. The embrace of life's unpredictability became a source of gratitude, weaving through each moment a shimmering thread of awe and understanding. A recognition of the interconnectedness of all being. His journey offered wisdom that adapting to life's vicissitudes allows the spirit to flourish, rising resiliently from the crucible of hardship stronger, more aware, and infinitely enriched. With this newfound purpose, Aaron emerged into the world as an advocate, his story a beacon illuminating pathways for others traversing their own landscapes of adversity. Through speaking, writing, and filmmaking, he shared the universal themes of his journey: courage, endurance, and the transcendent power of the human spirit. His narrative, initially rooted in singular tragedy, began to inspire countless others to embark on their personal voyages of self-discovery, nurturing the resilient spirits of those who heard their call. Aaron's ongoing journey, one of healing and reconnection, resonates deeply with the melodies of transformation and growth. The canyon's echoes, forever etched in his soul, narrate a saga of growth, a tale where survival evolves into thrivance and triumph. Such lessons, born from the crucible of challenge, whisper to us all, urging the acceptance of change as a prelude to flourishing. His path forward was one of profound healing, an odyssey back to the simple joys and immense power of the present moment, a journey through recovery towards wholeness and renewal. Aaron's resolve to celebrate the mundane victories and the beauty inherent in life itself highlights the essential truth of healing as a journey, a path of resilience where identity is reclaimed not by the shadows of trauma, but by the light of persistence and joy. Despite the trial by stone, Aaron's bond with the wild remains unbroken. A return to these elemental landscapes testifies to the enduring connection between humanity and the natural world, a kinship that survives fear and transcends temporal hardship. Within the wild, he rediscovers strength and solace, guided by the ageless wisdom of the land. Finally, however profoundly personal, Aaron's story extends into a universal narrative of advocacy, a voice lifted in support of survival and empowerment. By sharing his resilience and hope, he has dedicated his life to fostering awareness and inspiring transformation, reaching others with the clarity that survival demands and the strength it bestows. Aaron Ralston's journey, inscribed in the rock and echoed in hearts worldwide, stands as a testament to the strength inherent in each of us, a legacy that extends beyond the physical landscape into the vast wilderness of the spirit. His narrative invites us to reflect on the potential within us all to transcend adversity, to draw deeper meaning from our trials, and to emerge reborn from the anvil of life's challenges. In conclusion, as we step away from Aaron's profound tale, we are left with a vision of enduring human spirit, one that forges its path through the shadows of despair toward the light of transformation. His story, much like the canyons that bore witness, whispers truths that encourage us to embrace our own unyielding will, capable of guiding us through life's enigmas and into realms of possibility unbound. Aaron's journey, a testament to resilience and rebirth, continues to echo with the song of the eternal spirit of humanity. In the heart of Utah, where the earth meets the sky in lazy waves of land, the Nutty Putty Cave lies veiled under a benign facade. A labyrinth in the dark belly of the earth, it has silently observed the passage of time since its discovery in the 1960s. Its enticing serpentine passages lure the curious and the adventurous, promising an escape into an underground cathedral of geological wonders. Every twist and turn, named with ingenuity or grim humor, like the Birth Canal and the Scout Eater, embodies a secret awaiting exploration. Yet within this subterranean maze slumbers peril, a fickle presence that claims the complacent and unprepared. Amid this backdrop, we find the figure of John Edward Jones, a man whose zest for life was matched only by his love for exploration. A spirited soul born to a family of spelunkers, John's childhood dwelt within the cool arms of caves, where shadows told stories and stalagmites whispered secrets of the earth. By 2009, John had carved a niche in the world not just through his explorations, but also as a promising medical student. Balancing academia with adventure, he was celebrated for his kind heart and indomitable will, a rare blend that endeared him to friends and family alike. It was during a reunion on the chilly night of November 24th, 2009, that fate entwined itself into John's narrative. The Thanksgiving air was crisp, the kind that fills the lungs with an invigorating chill, breathing life into familial bonds. The Jones family, woven together by tradition and the love of the underground, embarked on an outing to Nutty Putty Cave, reminiscing about sunlight-filtered memories and filled with laughter that bounced off the cave walls. The adventure, steeped in nostalgia, was meant to strengthen ties, wrap them in the warmth of collective past joys. As the group descended into the velvet darkness, their headlamps flickered like guiding stars in the abyss. John led them with a confidence born of experience, his heart thrumming with the anticipation of discovery. But deep within those stone chambers, curiosity lured John further, teasing him with the distant promise of the unknown. Enthralled by the beckoning dark, he ventured deeper, propelled by an unfathomable desire to connect with the mysteries of the earth. The tunnels slowly constricted around him, intimate and suffocating. Yet, driven by an audacious spirit, John maneuvered forward, even as caution retreated into the shadows. It was within the narrow confines of the passage famously known as the Birth Canal, where time decided to pause indefinitely for John. Here, the tactile intimacy of the earth had no intention of releasing its embrace. Trapped head down in a vice-like grip, he faced the unyielding patience and strength of the geological titan, rendering him immobile, yet fiercely alive in his struggle. His absence eventually tugged at the corners of his brother Josh's awareness, a whisper that swelled into a clamor in the echoing silence. As John's cries found their way through rock and void to his brother, urgency tightened its grip. Navigating the familiar path to reach John, Josh's heart pounded a furious tempo as he realized the dire circumstances confronting them. The time to act had come, with rescuers summoned to the scene swiftly, initiating a race against time and the indifference of stone. The sprawling network of Nutty Putty Cave was soon alive with focused intent as rescue teams delved into its depths. They traversed the maze of rock with singular determination, every step measured against odds both unknown and invisible. Their lanterns cut through the darkness, anointed with hope as their combined expertise sought to free John from his prison. The echoes of their hearts merged with the cave's silent symphony, reflecting their staunch resolve to illuminate and conquer the darkness that threatened John's life. Cave rescue demands an artistry of its own, a ballet of precision and adaptation played out against nature's script. The confines of the Nutty Putty Cave were relentless, sullying every advance forward with fresh challenges as rescues grapple with the daunting duet of endurance and strategy. The very environment conspired against them, twisting corridors, gravity's relentless pull on John's position, and the unseen specter of time wearing thin the finite reservoir of possibilities. In response, the rescue teams innovated, threading an air tube through the cavern's embrace to grant John the breath of hope, a fragile tendril binding him to life. Words of encouragement traversed the cold stone, warmth and determination in equal measure as the rescuers communicated with John, crafting a lifeline of reassurance as tangible as any rope. But extraction was not easy. Despite the laborious efforts to pull John free with a rope pulley system, they faced the danger of further harm at every attempt. The balance between urgency and care felt infinite, every echo of movement a meditation on the fragility they grappled with. Rescue calls filled the air with simultaneously gentle and urgent exclamations, a collage of hope and despair painted in the cavernous void. Hours passed, indefinable yet urgent, a relentless flood reducing hope to droplets. Over time, fatigue planted its insidious roots into the souls of the rescuers and the mind of their charge. Physical pathways narrowed through energy drained, and obstacles remained resolute in their wait, with nature determined to claim what is rightfully hers. Yet alongside the Earth's might ran the silent river of strength that John poured into surviving beneath the stone. As medical concerns mounted, the harsh reckoning with time's omnipotence whispered upon every surging pace in the rescue coordinating above. Shared under those pressures were the emotions and unspoken agreements that drove the rescuers beyond the anxieties mounting, each breath a testament to determination. Empathy reached from the surface, where John's loved ones kept vigil, their hearts tuned to the subterranean struggles, finding solace and expression in their presence and echoes of hope. Josh's proximity and the ancestral intimacy with the cave nurtured their rapport with the rescue process, offering invaluable insights that intertwined familial memory with terms of necessity, recalling a rhythm of resilience imbued with solace. Once more, the rescuers aligned themselves, rising to one final encompass of collective breath before action. It was the decision to embrace their full unity and agency over adversity's whispered intentions. Every innovation, every manual adjustment suspended time's flow as final rescue preparations surged with creativity, shaped by courage and resolve. At this moment, exertions born of unity created opportunities above despair, drawing on a collective wisdom formed within the crucible of shared struggle and compassion's timeless echoes. Emotion tightened in the midst of the cavern, auras intermingling with breaths both visible and unseen. The weight of despair clung inescapably to the darkness as attempts to free John were countered by the understated power of 1,000 years of stone. Hope hung in the balance, torn between triumph and surrender, each passing minute a timeless testament to the binding faith that called each person to this point. And thus, within the stoic blade of reality imposed by this subterranean giant, it whispered and recast the narrative as after John grasped the boundary marked only by God's grace and natural law. Here, the cavern claimed its due, drawing John tenderly within, a reluctant embrace culminating in tranquility painted with the eternal as Earth's enfolding love, serene and final. In the aftermath, where silence drifted back to its rightful dominion, those left above ground embraced heartache with the gentle resilience of collective memory and shared loss. They ushered in tributes breathing life into the legacy of John Edward Jones, echoing his spirit in whispers destined to drift through time, shaping stories shared around fires and determined by the love of life's resilient embrace and the healing presence of place. Lessons distilled from the tragedy slipped into expressions, arranged in protective words encircling sameness and difference alike, exploring vital inquiries born of a solemn, albeit hopeful, examination. As the labyrinth waits in stoic silence, the narrative now spans beyond earthly thresholds, reflecting the vibrancy captured beneath its weight and woven exploration meeting humanity's boundless curiosity. And life, steadfast and vivid, moves onward, buoyed by the tone of lament measured beneath strings of jubilance in the shared, gentle warmth of the people embracing each other beneath tented stars. The tribute to exploration and resilience, now firmly embedded within consciousness, carries the promise of shared strength and the fortitude to face the unknown, a path already etched into the river of shared hope. The tale of the wild boar's soccer team, ensnared within the ancient mysteries of the Tam Luang cave, unfolds with the innocence of youth venturing into the unknown. It was June 23, 2018, when 12 boys, eager for exploration and camaraderie, vanished into the cave's yawning mouth alongside their young coach, Ekapol Chanthawong. Beneath the Chiang Rai province's lush canopy, the cave offered a labyrinthine playground, its dark chambers rich with echoes of bygone ages. For the boys, aged 11 to 16, the expedition was to be a brief escapade, a passage from the mundane to the extraordinary. In the embrace of the Earth's chilly alcoves, laughter reverberated as they delved deeper, unaware of the tempest brewing above. The monsoon descended with torrents, weaving into the Earth's embrace and transforming the atmosphere with nature's immutable power. Before they could comprehend the shift, waters surged clandestinely, cloaking their path home with a cascading veil. The exit, once inviting, now became an impenetrable boundary of liquid, whispering its threat against the stone. Inside, hours ebbed into uncertainty as realization washed over them. The air carried the boys' unspoken fears, the weight of water and earth melding with their spirits. Physical prowess gave way to a more formidable foe, an intricate web woven by the elements. In the forced stillness, Coach Ekapol's quiet wisdom emerged as a guiding light. His past as a Buddhist monk, steeped in contemplation and balance, resurfaced as he taught the boys to breathe deliberately, conserving their energy, staving off the pangs of hunger and thirst. Outside, the parents' concern spiraled into a search. The discovery of abandoned bicycles at the cave's mouth echoed alarm across the community, a clarion call that rippled through the region and beyond. Tam Luang's secret had seized the world's attention, and the response was swift, a mosaic of volunteers, officials, and the Thai Navy SEALs converging to breach the watery barrier that had claimed the children. The cave became a theater of resilience, where human will danced precariously with nature's whims. With each plan conceived, the water's rise challenged it anew, thwarting attempts of immediate rescue. Yet the mix of local and foreign expertise grew, creating a lattice of hope, a multinational tapestry united in purpose. Renowned divers Richard Stanton and John Valanthan, bearers of deep-sea knowledge, began their journey through submerged pathways, each descent a testament to human perseverance against time and tide. The world, now closely knit in its vigil, watched as plans unfurled within and above the cave's corridors. Water pump systems thrummed, engineers chiseled strategy from crisis, and the shared weight of anticipation was echoed in every breath and stroke taken by the divers scouring the shadowed domains. Inside the cave, the boys lived their hours suspended between light and dark, a testament to endurance shaped by silence and prayer. It was July 2nd when hope pierced the cave's veil. Flashlights flickering against stonework as Stanton and Valanthan surfaced from the depths, their beams illuminating the wan faces of those who had endured. There, at Nern Nam Sao, fear dissolved into relief, eyes meeting under the fraternity of shared struggle. Words captured on video bolstered spirits and carried messages of endurance to the waiting world above. Each day that followed was an exercise in compassion. Communication became its own sympathetic gesture, transcending linguistic barriers through heartfelt notes and shared silence. News of survival echoed worldwide, feeding the global thirst for updates and weaving a narrative of survival sculpted from patience and ingenuity. Supplies made passage into the cave, draped in hope and filled with necessities that reached the boys, affirming bonds that had crossed continents. As the tides of strategy shifted, so did the focus of extraction. Time, the ever-present antagonist, was pitted against logistics. The monsoon's hand was poised to complicate, urging decision-makers toward a daring resolution, a passage of physiological and mental challenge to extricate the team through the aqueous maze. The Thai Navy SEALs were instrumental in this drama, their presence a meshwork of tactical acumen and steadfast resolve. Acting as custodians of hope, they provided more than just guidance. They delivered sustenance and solidarity. Their embodiment of calm was a beacon, as they worked tirelessly with a smaller cadre inhabiting the cave's belly, nurturing courage amid adversity. Beyond the ventures of safety, there lay lessons inscribed by resilience and humanity. Throughout the ordeal, the boys nurtured an unsuspected strength, a kinship tempered by adverse teachings and whispers of introspection. The meditation and calm instilled by Coach Ekapol's spiritual tutelage became their anchor, turning fear into reflection. Each breath a step into clarity. The eventual operation of retrieval was a symphony of precision and humanity interwoven with the natural symphony of the earth. The boys embarked on their journey to the surface, flanked by divers, shielded by sedation against the unsettling claustrophobia of narrow confines and obscured passages. This human chain embodied the intertwining of endeavor and aim, a pulse against harsh conditions, yet proclaiming the triumph of collective spirit. The story transcended national borders and illuminated the profundity of global empathy. As efforts burgeoned, technological advancements played their part. An unseen hand within the tapestry of human endeavor brought to light through real-time mapping, communications, and environmental assessments. In the fabric of the cave, a sacrifice was woven in memory, a reminder of the endeavor's inherent danger. Saman Kunan's formidable courage and ultimate sacrifice drew somber recognition amidst the triumph, illustrating the deepest human truths, the selfless bond of service, the sacred flame of compassion that outshines the dark. These moments gave rise to recollections of kindness, emerging as stories of unwavering generosity and dedication. Across the globe, communities responded with sincerity, folding efforts and resources into this collective human drama. Volunteers bridged the divides with acts of selfless support, reinforcing the cultural tapestry that embraced the unfolding narrative of salvation. The media's role was significant, weaving real-time narratives into the minds and hearts of an international audience. It highlighted the balance needed within reportage to respect the complexities of human spirit while allowing the nuances to shine through with integrity. Storytellers soon picked up the threads, transforming these accounts into visual artistry that explored the breadths and depths of the human condition in adversity. Documentaries and films appeared, rendering the vibrant colors of resilience and courage across screens and pages, echoing inspiration to audiences newly emerged from darkness of their own. These events left a profound mark upon the boys and their families, reshaping their narratives with new perspectives. As celebrations brought closure to this extraordinary chapter, they also opened doors to reflections on an indomitable spirit's journey, struck deep within hearts touched by hope and intertwined destinies. Thailand's national spirit pulsed with renewed vigor, a narrative of unity inscribed upon the stage of history, an emblematic gesture of human achievement birthed through struggle and solidarity. Enlightened by the shared miracle of rescue, this chapter became a beacon of possibility, forever illuminating the journey not just of those ensnared within the earth, but of all those who dared to reach across the celestial boundaries of the unknown. In the gentle embrace of early sunlight, Spencer and Jessica Christensen embarked on a journey that whispered promises of nature's quiet beauty and adventure. Newlyweds, they set their sights on Buckskin Gulch, a celebrated corridor of winding stone that reached out like nature's own embrace. It was a day filled with expectations of exploration, a chance to intertwine their spirits with the timeless artistry of time and stone. Equipped with maps and provisions, they entered the canyon's domain, unaware of the storm whispers that would soon dance across the horizon. The couple ventured deeper into the canyon, where the walls seemed to clasp a secret world, narrowing until they were embraced by a labyrinth of sandstone. Every twist and turn of Buckskin Gulch held a new marvel: the intricate patterns of rock, the dance of sunlight across the sheer walls, and the ancient resonance in the silence between their footsteps. The canyon's beauty was both invitation and enigma, holding histories carved by the patient hand of time. Yet, as they wandered in wonder, the blessings of serenity would soon shift into challenges unimagined, delivered by a distant storm they could neither see nor hear. Their train of exploration intertwined with the morning light, and the canyon whispered ancestral songs, inviting them to become part of its tale. The narrow pathways seemed a tapestry stitched by elemental forces over millennia. Oblivious to the brewing storms, the Christiansens found their spirits uplifted by the delicate echoes of nature's gallery, capturing moments like threads across the vast continuum of existence. With each step, they became characters in an ancient narrative unfolding under the benevolent gaze of the sun, a chapter yet to understand the entangled fates that nature deferred to unveil. Slot canyons like Buckskin Gulch embody that sublime duality of nature. Breathtaking yet fraught with hidden peril, they weave a complex narrative, each pathway a story carved by the relentless flow of water, reshaping landscape with an artistry bestowed by time. Within their confines exists an intimate solitude, both enchanting and foreboding, an eternal communion between geological grandeur and the pilgrim soul. Yet, wisdom whispers the need for reverence, for the balance inherent in the dance of elements can veer toward imbalance, swiftly transforming calm into chaos. As the couple delved into its core, Buckskin Gulch held nature's secrets close, while beyond the horizon, clouds gathered with hushed urgency. The morning's light that had serenaded their steps now waned, as creeping shadows of impending storm loomed unseen. The canyon walls rose, shielding them from sight of the brewing tempest and cocooning them from the evening sky's agitation. Though physically sequestered within these stone corridors, spiritual intuition still lulled them with assurances of safety. Then the universe decided to weave a different thread. A low rumble echoed along the canyon's channels, a foreshadowing of nature's majesty turned sudden wrath. The Christiansens heard a whisper of something monstrous, building momentum unseen. Turning their eyes toward the sound, unbelieving gazes met harsh realization. Water, born of rains far beyond their horizon, rushed forth, a force of nature intent on reclaiming dominion. The harmony they'd found within the canyon shattered, replaced by a frantic call to arms for their survival. A torrent rushed to greet them, carrying the weight of earth and water surging through the narrow passages. The Christiansens faced the wall of fury with nothing save instinct and their shared determination. For them, safety lay in height, a slender ledge, a potential refuge against the deluge below. Their ascent up the canyon's rugged embrace became an act of will, every tenuous grip a defiance of gravity's call. As cold water raced beneath, their unity in the face of nature's onslaught became salvation's heartbeat. Nightfall draped its veil across Buckskin Gulch as the Christiansens clung to their narrow perch, the world cloaked in shadows deep and unrelenting. The sun's retreat left them only with the memory of its warmth, as cold reality settled around the two figures that huddled on a precipice. In the darkness, the canyon transformed, its earlier beauty now a looming presence in the encroaching night. The duo shared not only the chill of air, but the warmth of shared courage, seeking solace in whispered affirmations as stars blinked in different echoes across the celestial sphere. Reflection in those darkest hours brought newfound clarity, as the canyon became both teacher and rival in their passage through time. The echoes confirmed that no longer were they mere observers, but protagonists within a larger tale. Every nuance of rock face and shadow was an expression of nature's enduring paradox, peril intertwined with inspiration. Amid that realization, whispered conversations bridged memories of dreams, yet to be fulfilled with the quiet strength that carried them forward. The floodwaters gradually released their hold as silence seeped through Buckskin's stone veins. Gone were the roars of chaos, replaced by an absence all the more profound, a reverence of sound left in its wake. The echoes of nature's fury lingered like distant memories from another life. In this silence, every breath resonated, tethering them to the unspoken assurance that their presence mattered in the vast tapestry, that survival was but a step in the dance, not its final note. Dawn threaded its golden fingers across the canyon walls, breathing hope into the shadows that had lingered through the night. As light crept into their thoughts, Spencer and Jessica rose to greet a day imbued with possibility. Though hunger whispered to their bodies and water became sacred, the renewed dawn warmed resolve, casting clarity across the drenched path. Beneath the morning's grace and ancient sun, they discovered anew the potential for escape imbued within nature's cyclical blessing. With mutual determination, the Christiansens began their descent, navigating not only physical landscapes, but mental terrains defined by tenacity and resource. Rocks, once barriers, now transformed into landmarks charting paths homeward. Though they had faced challenges both within and without, each step forward, with care and balance, created ripples of hope within their shared endurance. As their path unfolded, the remnants of what the flood had borne informed their steps. The landscape, reformatted by the elements, offered both obstacles and guidance. In navigating this novel terrain, they ventured with caution tempered by the resilience born of shared trials. Amidst rock and detritus, the world became anew, each turn and passage a chapter in their collective saga. Through trepidation, the couple rationed provisions with an astute awareness born of need. The balance of thirst and action augmented by the ineffable sustenance gleaned from unity and spirit. Together, they wove threads of sustenance beyond the tangible, trusting in shared hope to bridge physical necessities until reunited with the world beyond the gulch. The physical realm imposed challenges upon their forms, met not with defeat, but determination to seek the horizon beyond. Scrapes and bruises bore witness to strength and resilience, a poignant reminder of their journey, not of submission, but triumph over shared adversities. Each trial overcame, redefined the contours of their path homeward. Beyond their immediate perception, a larger network resonated. Though physically disconnected, an unbreakable tether of concern and compassion reached out from afar. Within the canyon, nestled between rock walls and whispers of fate, the Christiansens felt the presence of this unspoken alliance echoing through shadows, an unarticulated bond with those willing the safe conclusion of their story. Hints and signs appeared on their path. Footprints, whispers of humanity passing by, which inspired hope reborn. These talismans, etched in sand and stone, confirmed their connection with those who had traveled before, emphasizing survival as a shared celebration. Nature's weave had intertwined their chapter with the stories of others, affirming spirit in shared journeys forward. The canyon's test of their bond had strengthened their sense of unity within trial, with each step forging trust and collaboration. This journey, shared as much through silence as spoken word, became their cornerstone, illuminating pathways through adversity. As intertwined destinies, they realized a synergy transcending the individual, an immutable testimony to partnership's transformative power. Guided by nature's subtle signs, the Christiansens discerned the boundaries shifting, vegetation revived, streams whispering what had been withheld. Their emergence into flourishing horizons unveiled nature's embrace, welcoming them into renewal crafted beneath the canyon's watchful gaze. Each milestone passed became a promise fulfilled, a reclamation of the path toward safety. Their final steps from the canyon's embrace into the open desert bore witness to joyous reunion. The voices of rescuers heralded hearts awaiting their safe arrival, cementing joy not only in physical reunion, but in nature's enduring saga of challenge and triumph. Under the desert sky, shadows dispersed amid collective affirmation shared between survivor, friend, and family. Reflection became a sanctuary where wisdom and lesson interwove. The canyon had offered growth, insight, and an understanding of resilience, echoing the balance of nature's duality within the human spirit. Wisdom gathered along this path informed their steps into an illuminated future, an understanding etched across experience's tablet. The canyon's enduring mark became integral to the Christiansens' lives. The hard-won path of growth and perseverance, a legacy not of hardship alone, but of triumph over fear and isolation. Their journey captured not only endurance, but the promise of renewal drawn forth from nature's embrace, a quest toward future knowledge imbued with courage and unity. Inspired by their journey, Spencer and Jessica shared their story, a mosaic of resilience, celebration, and shared understanding within nature's unpredictable embrace. Their narrative expanded beyond cautionary tales, becoming a reflection rich with insight and wisdom, urging others to explore while heeding nature's call for reverent respect and preparation. Embraced by life's abundance, the Christiansens celebrated, an ode to resilience punctuated by gratitude for shared moments and deeper connections. What emerged from trial and ordeal became a symphony sung across ordinary days, braided with treasured continuity of hopes, laughter, and memory. Yet, as one chapter gently concluded, another began, reframed by the lessons gleaned within canyon depths. Spencer and Jessica stepped across new horizons with spirits enriched by challenge and possibility, embodying the essence of shared journey within life's enduring odyssey, a testament to human spirit's resonance, undiminished by shadow. Eric Lamarck, once a professional ice hockey player, embarked on a journey into the serene winter realm of the Sierra Nevada. His heart sought solace and uncharted adventure in its snow-laden expanse. This venture was intended to be a brief escapade, a few moments in the untouched wilderness beyond marked paths. Yet, the allure of fresh snow and the whisper of nature's unbounded frontier called to him. Brief though it seemed, his decision to stray from the familiar trails unfurled an odyssey that would test and redefine his very essence. The pristine snowfields, which first welcomed him with open arms, transformed into an opaque, enigmatic labyrinth under nature's fickle hand. With snow falling relentlessly, Eric soon found himself ensnared within the embrace of a blizzard's blinding whiteout. What commenced as an innocent exploration swiftly evolved into a week-long testament to endurance against the raw elements. Alone and disoriented, with thermal plummets that mocked warmth, Eric's struggle embodied the enduring spirit of humanity, an odyssey that would carve itself indelibly upon his life's path, illustrating each decision, each trial, and his ultimate triumph against the wilderness's cold apathy. Initially, Eric savored the hushed tranquility only a snow-capped world could bestow. Each arc along the slopes, each descent into fresh powder, filled him with a sense of freedom. Accustomed to the precision and rigor of professional sports, Eric found exhilaration in the untamed beauty before him. His motives, though simple, spoke deeply, an introspection against life's rushing currents, a quest not for destination but discovery. Yet the calm began to offer hints of its hidden ferocity. Twilight brought clouds heavy with foreboding, weaving a tapestry of gray upon the horizon. As landmarks dissolved into obscurity, the thrill of exploration mingled with the stark coldness of realization. A storm's guise had been deceptively serene. Without compass, without guiding light, his mind's map grew intricate and unreliable. Shadows lengthened and danced, concealing the dangers of unfamiliar terrain, setting the stage for an unscripted drama of survival. The blizzard descended unrestrained, a veil upon the land that changed friend into foe. Daylight's retreat ushered an exponential transformation. Gentle slopes concealed treacherous depths. Eric, clad in snowboarding apparel meant for sport rather than survival, felt the relentless indifference of nature wrap around him. The wilderness whispered no comfort to his growing despair, only the eternal voice of the winds and snow, immune to the storied struggles of humankind. The embrace of night beckoned his survival instincts to the fore. With resources scant and the specter of hypothermia ever present, Eric sought refuge beneath his snowboard, crafting a frail barrier against the elements. Snow's eager fingers plucked at his warmth, each gust carrying the chill further into his marrow. Yet within him awoke a resolute power, a goal above all others: to see the dawn. Thoughts of family flickered as beacons, nurturing a mental defiance against the encroaching chill from which he must not yield. Morning light cast no comforting balm, but the starkness of hunger was undeniable. His world lay drawn in frosted whites and grays, both boundless and starkly limited. Hydration came from snow's thaw, a fleeting remedy to more pressing needs. The teachings of survival emerged from the depths of memory. Pine needles, remembered as a potential brew of indigenous origins, offered sustenance, their ritual steeping infusing not just warmth, but resolve. To traverse this alien landscape was a trial. The Sierra Nevada bridged beauty with danger. Its folds and crevices, hidden beneath deceptive snow, contrasted each step with the lesson of vigilance. Navigation without the sun proved insidious. The landscape's pages rewrote themselves in snowfall's guise. Landmarks became ghosts, fading and amorphous. Instinct oriented his course where certainty vanished, each action a negotiation of survival against probability. The war was not only physical, but fought within. The cold, an omnipresent adversary, gnawed at his resolve. Every movement required energy. Precious and finite was this currency. The body's edges dulled under the cold's persistent insistence to conserve and utilize, became one. Yet, stillness held a deadlier allure beneath its guise, inviting a spiral into immobilizing cold. Thus, Eric moved, heart embracing the dance to stave off winter's siren call. Isolation draped itself more heavily than any snowfall. In this solitude, Eric wrestled with existence's inherent fragility. The void whispered memories interspersed with fears, doubts, and reassurances, shadowed by every lengthening hour. Within this isolation's crucible lay growth, self-awareness sharpened by the edges of introspection. The mind, with no distraction save survival, rendered fear into focus and reflection into resilience. Nature offered a mirror, reflecting the subtle truths of life's delicate grasp. Here, mortality asserted itself in the wilderness's vastness, reminding humanity of its ephemeral existence, of the eternal rhythm beyond control. Nature, a mentor in silence, imparted a lesson of existence's finite thread amidst her relentless cycles. Eric's spirit, tempered by these truths, adopted them as fuel, defying passive succumbing to inertia. Survival strategy emerged from necessity's crucible, thoughts cast into plans, each decision shaped by pragmatism. The need to adapt created innovation, turning snow into an ally and obstacles into benchmarks of fortitude. Ancient instincts blended with contemporary knowledge, forming a tapestry of adaptive strategies in this frozen arena. These experiences distilled to essence, teaching survival was as much about mental tenacity as physical endurance. Visualization and focus counseled the soul, propelling Eric beyond despair's grasp into realms of imagined triumph. Thoughts of warmth, of loved ones, transformed into beacons guiding through the tempest. Frostbite, insidious and unyielding, accompanied him on this journey. Pain and numbness crept alongside him like shadows, reminders of the body's peril in surrendering to the elements. Choices lay stark before him, in each decision to move or rest, inciting dialogue between necessity and invention. Amidst crafting windows of safety within nature's relentlessness, reflective sanctuaries emerged, cocoons of contemplation against nature's unblinking gaze. Each was a creation born of interaction with the terrain, shelter from elements and solitude. Within them, Eric found communion with self, moments of introspection charting his pathway through isolation and into resilience. Alone, but not truly solitary, he explored the interplay between spirit and form, acknowledging the profound connectedness within nature's vast labyrinth and his own inner journeys. Awareness expanded amid these trials, insights emerging from seemingly insurmountable isolation. Surrendering fear to understanding was both solace and fortitude. Within the cavernous reflexivity of existence, the triumphs against terrain became metaphoric enactments of survival's ballet. Recognizing interconnectedness amidst solitude, coupled with the temperance of experience, revealed a tapestry weaving new bonds in the warp of adversity and the weft of discovery. Eric's strange presence at the heart of this isolation resonated deeply, teaching him through suffering the alchemy of transformation as spirit and existence entwined. The polarities of survival confirmed humanity's inherent resilience, the ineffable dance echoing within life's preciously brief symphony, a testament against nature's indifference, revealing our place within her ancient chorus. In reverie and actuality, Eric's journey presented a powerful exposition upon the nature of hope. It, along with faith, illustrated the ethereal strength contained within vulnerability and perseverance, painting an intricate tableau of survival, one lasting beyond individual tribulation, binding the storyline of renewal. Resourcefulness, transforming the elements into allies, became synonymous with life's pursuit amid challenges. The ability to adapt flow into vitality's wellspring, where untapped potential lay dormant, awaiting discovery amid the monochromes of a seemingly inhospitable world. In turn, persistence wrought its benevolent struggle, propelling Eric's resolute journey. Footfalls unwinding tales that converged within the grander narrative's meeting of nature and humanity, where survival marries resilience with indefatigable spirit. Instinct vied for precedence, each step a homage to the untamed legacy within, guiding paths unseen, sculpting Eric's traversing lines as a cartographer yet unborn. The storm-born wind became a choir, depicting landscapes of discovery and redemption. Through perseverance, Eric navigated these visions of salvation. The anticipation of rescue transformed the distant horizon line into a beacon of hopeful endings, weaving former despair into the path of the redeemed spirit. And when rescue emerged, it brought with it the warmth of other souls. The persistent drumming of life's returning embrace guided Eric home. Collapsing into shared humanity, grateful for the harrowing journey's completion, his inner world folded onto itself, leaving the wilderness behind, yet indelibly shaping the perspectives carried forth. Eric's reflections upon this test extended, synthesizing the myriad threads woven during those isolated trials. Within solitude's expanse, the scope of endurance became progressively nuanced, unraveled through nature's silent hymn. Life rendered into layers of complex truths and silent epiphanies, preserving stories of transformation. Finally, adversity's seed transmuted struggle into luminosity, revealing life's elemental symphonies beneath the soul Earth's often unyielding visage. Out of the tale's core rise courage and endurance, not in conquest but in understanding, writing narratives within nature's open ledger. Eric's journey whispers and reverberates through the heart of any who listens, a testament urging resiliency's song, the resonant notes of survival, transcending into new awareness in the sphere of experience, perpetually celebrating the phoenix artistry in life's remarkable expedition. In the stillness of a November day in 2013, Nutcracker Cave in the UK awaited to test the mettle of those who dared explore its shadow blue corridors. Nestled within scenic landscapes, the cave was known more for its alluring pathways than the peril that lay quietly beneath the surface, waiting to transform adventure into a rite of survival. It was here that an experienced caver found himself caught by the unpredictability of nature, transforming a moment of exploration into an extraordinary test of human endurance against the silent stubbornness of the earth. A daily ritual for experienced souls seeking solace beneath the earth's tapestry, caving brought with it a rhythm, a unity with the silence of time-carved chambers. Yet the Nutcracker Cave, with its intricate design and narrow tunnels, mirrored the complexity of life with its hidden dangers. The caver, long familiar with such underground labyrinths, ventured into its embrace with the confidence of years, only to be trapped unexpectedly by a dislodged rockfall. As the cave's silence interwove with his own breath, the urgency of survival began to mark each heartbeat like a monk's prayer beads counted steadily in shadow. Communities of cavers often speak of the allure of these subterranean realms as spaces where the mystery of Earth's ancient language is whispered through stone and shadow. Beneath the world known to most, explorers become part of the Earth's living memory, threading through time and darkness. Nutcracker Cave, with its historical significance and geological wonders, had long cast its spell on the curious. Yet, this enchantment holds a menacing dual identity, a reminder that beauty and danger are often entwined. The narrow passages that carve through history can usurp a sense of safety, turning fascination into entrapment in the blink of an eye. The incident within the cave unfolded with a sudden shift. What had been solid became fluid, as the stability of rock was no longer a dependable ally. In the intimate confines of this cavern, deep silence served as both a witness and a mirror, amplifying the isolation as time became fluid, and the boundary between known and unknown blurred with each creeping minute. Loneliness, a dark companion, crept through the tunnels alongside the echo of his breath, whispering reminders of his solitude. Yet amidst this isolation, there was an unwavering spark, the stubborn will to breathe against an indifferent earth. Echoes of distress swiftly reached the surface, where light gusts of wind intertwined with the urgency of life. Upon hearing the cries of the trapped caver, a harrowing but determined rescue effort began to unfold. The response was a symphony of human will, a collaboration between cave rescue specialists, volunteers, and hewn-hearted companions of the missing. These rescuers became the embodied pulse of hope, descending into the earth's maw with only the compass of echo and shadow as their guide. Perhaps it was the nature of such darkened paths that demanded a tether be maintained, a vocal line connecting those above with the heart below, tying spirits with the thread of assurance and resolve. Descending into Nutcracker Cave demanded a surrender to its vaulted labyrinth, a surrender met with the unhurried drown of shadow-lit passageways where light exists only as a memory. Like pilgrims to places unseen, the rescuers embodied a meditative journey inward, distilling into each moment an attuned awareness, a deliberate pace echoing the gravity of their quest. Darkness closed around them like an ancient soul, the weight of stone pressing upon their every movement as if testing their devotion, their commitment to draw forth the cornered life within. Within this labyrinth, even the whispers of water droplets carried a haunting resonance, each sound magnified by stone walls as if the earth itself breathed, empathetic yet unmoved. Through the suffusion of calm urgency, each rescuer became both navigator and poet, scripting a dance through shadows that felt oddly reminiscent of an ancient rite. The whispers of hope carried through this descent, marked by hands tracing cold rock, ears attuned to the subtle shifts above, a reminder that the delicate boundary between safety and peril hung, suspended by presence and grace. In parallel, within another shadowed corner of the cave, the caver wrestled with both the weight of rock and the more insidious gravity of despair. Yet, despite the shadows enfolding him, despite the timelessness that began to blur memory and time, his spirit wove its own path, a meditation upon the endurance of will. Without the guiding light of the sun, the mantle of darkness became both a confessor and a captor, creating an existence where hope was forged from the smallest, most persistent thoughts, a reminder that he was part of a world unseen, striving with him, toward him, invisibly connected through echo and rhythm. Above, the surface lay still as the world stood sentinel, a vigil held by faces drawn with the lines of hope and fear. Within this vigil dwelt the somber grace of shared humanity, a testament to waiting marked by heartbeats and breaths, a collective meditation on rescue and endurance. Even as darkness deepened, the entrance of the cave remained as a threshold, a liminal gateway betwixt despair and hope, between isolation and reunion. Here, the community waited with the patient resolve of orbiting constellations, a part of the Earth's quiet symphony, every eye fixed upon the point where darkness would give back its own. In this world where rock and bone intertwined, the trapped caver's torment lay with what he named the breathing rock, both nemesis and protector. In the paradox of its hold, the potential for destruction and sanctuary lay side by side, a reminder of the Earth's indiscriminate nature. Yet, there was an understanding shared between them, an unspoken recognition that existence thrives as much upon tension as upon the release. Time in the cave unfolded like an ancient tapestry, where every stitch was a breath, a living meditation that reveled in the endurance of spirit against unyielding matter. While the focus of survival burned intensely within the cave, the rescuers faced trials of their own. each movement under the earth a deliberate symphony of intention and precision. Communication, a lifeline woven from voice and vibration, melded effortlessly within that hallowed space. There, within the spaces where light refused to thread, these rescuers leaned on unseen bonds of unity and strength. In their patient fights against rockfall and shadow, they embraced the poetry of patience, a testament to human abilities in the face of nature's silent hymn. Patience transformed urgency into a talisman. With every stone moved, every whispered instruction, those within the shadows balanced hope against the looming goddess of stony silence. They moved with an echo of sacred dance, where each gesture unfurled intention and determination. Here, in this shadowed womb, the ticking of time neither hurried nor pained. Within its folds exist events timeless, yet passionately immediate, a reminder of the temporal eternity within which we dwell. Through this slowly unwinding tapestry, echoes of hope and unyielding resolve began to bridge the void between the waiting world above and the confined existence below. Every whisper, every incantation spoken by the rescuers channeled through rock and shadow bore the promise of reunion. This was the moment. The silent beating heart of hope became flesh and word. The passage, once a place of division, shifted its forms, and with its transformation, the universe held its breath, a testament to faith realized. The birth of possibility was cradled within the soft utterances as air itself became a vibrational bridge, the ultimate act of love, a mystic communion amidst cold stone walls. The moment of contact, where communication transcended from spirit to soul, crowned this sensual sojourn. No longer alone, no longer isolated, the caver's heart shifted with renewed courage at the familiar echo of humanity brushing against the darkened chambers. A song barely breathed, yet infinitely heard. With connection established, the Ark turned toward engineering and extraction, an arduous alchemy of both action and intention. This priority was enshrined as both strategy and ritual, each movement a careful orchestration within the constraints of stone and form. The dance of stone and spirit made tangible. Rescue became not a single point, but a continuum spanning the breadth of intention, where compassion and precision held sway, gathered within the whispering confines of Earth. The extraction path, thoughtfully sculpted and embraced by shadows, bespoke the collaboration of minds willing to surrender ego for purpose. This space, a mortal canvas woven of breath and stone, demanded a pilgrimage of humility and resolve. A pilgrimage etched in movement, accompanied by a choir of shadowed echoes speaking of the collective resolve. As the tide of effort began to flow seamlessly toward the cave's mouth, the chamber of reflections opened to the fullness of shared truth. For amid these stones awoke an understanding that light, when tasted anew after darkness, possesses an unwritten language. A language marked by interplay between shades and radiance, by the reflections of spirit upon the heart's sacred mirror. The journey concluded back into the world above, marking not an end, but the beginning of stories reborn, where light embraced forms reborn from the heart of darkness. To emerge from the womb of the cave was to be reborn into the breath of day, where the streams of sun's beauty and the chorus of earth's notes converged into harmonious echoes of a spirit never diminished. Gratitude and triumph sang within these conquered shadows, dancing slowly between the lines of light and the hallowed serenity of remembrance. And yet this tale does not merely fade with the setting sun upon Nutcracker Cave. Its resonance extends beyond, rippling outward through villages and hearts, carrying with it the untold moments of realization and shared strength. The community had stood together, wrapped in resolve that defies words, touching the ethereal connection bestowed by shared experience. The narrative did not end with those final breaths beneath shadowed rock, but extended beyond in the lives it touched and taught. In the shadow of Nutcracker Cave, a story converged upon emergence, the timeless intersection of peril, hope, and humanity's boundless strength. Here, in this crucible where earth and sky embraced, lived a testament not only to survival, but to our collective connectedness. Beyond the labyrinth of stone, beyond the rhythmic flows of human breath, lay the simple truth that we are joined not by the absence of darkness, but by the music and space where light and shadow entwine within the journey of life. In the heart of a tranquil South African night, Alison Botha's life took a harrowing and unfathomable turn. The serenity of Port Elizabeth, a coastal expanse known for its sunlit shores and peaceful ambience, was suddenly breached. Alison, a vivacious young woman with an indomitable spirit, found herself ensnared in a sinister nightmare, abducted, assaulted, and abandoned to the wilderness by her captors. Yet, beneath this tale of horror lies an extraordinary testament to the human spirit's resilience, a poignant narrative of survival against the gravest odds. As the evening shadows gathered on December 18th, 1994, Alison's night unfolded like any other. She had spent the hours in carefree companionship with friends, her laughter mingling with the gentle pulse of the city's nightlife. But as she paused outside her apartment, an ominous shadow crept into her world. A car, unfamiliar and foreboding, drew her into a fate she could never have imagined. In those brief moments, the trajectory of her life shifted dramatically, propelling her into a profound journey of endurance and awakening. Two men emerged from the darkness, intent on shattering the peace Alison had known. Their silhouettes, dark against the dim illumination of the street, marked the beginning of a harrowing odyssey. She was thrust into a world of confining shadows within the car's interior, a moving prison where the landscape flickered by beneath the cold gaze of dim streetlights. This abduction transcended the physical. It was an assault on her very being, a confrontation with fear's depths, and a stripping away of self amidst the chaos. In a secluded ravine, the car came to a halt, and silence reigned except for the mounting terror. Alison was dragged into the wild, where nature's eternal struggle for survival took on a grim and human aspect. Her body became a canvas for violence, marked with over 30 wounds, a brutal echo of the beast that sometimes lies dormant within humanity. Yet even as her flesh was marred, her spirit ignited a transformation. Each drop of blood spilled was an impetus, galvanizing her resolve not to let the night claim her essence. After the men left, convinced they had won, Alison found herself alone. The earth beneath her was cold, the world indifferent to her plight. Here in this desolate solitude, her journey took a contemplative turn. Her survival was no longer an abstract hope. It became her immediate reality. In the embrace of the dark, Alison whispered inwardly, an incantation of determination, seeking strength where her body had none. Each passing minute in that cold night was a battle against despair and the numbing grip of the shadows. Her survival hinged on defying the physical confines of her injured state. With each painful maneuver, she found a warmth kindled by her defiance. Tethered to life by sheer willpower and the flicker of hope, Alison painstakingly propelled her body forward. The journey through the bush was fraught with peril, an ancient trial echoing through age's corridors. Her resolve was the embodiment of survival, a testament to the transformative power of the human will. As the night thickened, Allison faced the specter of mortality not with fear, but a contemplative acceptance. Her struggle stripped away life's illusions, leaving the raw beauty of existence laid bare. Life revealed itself as both a sacred and fragile gift, one she was determined to reclaim against the void. This introspection on mortality lent clarity and purpose, illuminating the shadows with the light of self-awareness. Desperation crept in with insidious whispers, challenging the fortress of hope she had built. Yet Allison clung to life by envisioning a dawn yet to break, an unformed morning offering solace and rescue. This vision was her lifeline, a spark against the enveloping darkness, a mantra recited silently in the face of obliteration. She recognized strength in moments, small hopes stitched together in a tapestry of survival. The dawn was her beacon, a promise obscured yet constant. Allison's crawl toward it was a passage of spirit and flesh, an odyssey reflected outwardly in her struggle against the Earth's biting elements. As the horizon nudged the shadows aside, her movements embodied a dance of defiance, a rhythm echoing life's pulsating heartbeats as she edged toward salvation. When daylight finally arrived, Allison encountered a stirring within humanity, a lifeline emerging amid silence. Civilization, distant and imagined, extended a hand to her tattered form upon the earth. Her savior, a passerby who found her body on the brink, was a reminder of the benevolence that laces human existence. This gesture of compassion bridged void and life, knitting her frayed reality with the world beyond. In the sterile sanctuary of a hospital, Allison hovered on the edge between two worlds. Physicians became modern alchemists, wielding their craft to mend the mind-numbing violence inflicted upon her. The margin between mortality and miracle was razor-thin. Her survival story defied logic, transcending into something almost sacred. Through science and spirit, the impossible was rendered possible, a testament to the power of will and the brilliance of human intervention. Recovery became a reflective journey, as much as it was a physical one. In the quiet moments of healing, Allison journeyed inward, pondering the depth of her inner strength. Her survival was not just the body's triumph, but an elevation of being. Acknowledging her scars, she began to rebuild the framework of her existence, transforming her past into a narrative of empowerment and hope. Taking ownership of her narrative, Allison emerged anew, not as a victim, but as a storyteller of her own experience. With measured wisdom and resilience, she recounted her tale as a balm for wounds, her own and those of others. This reclamation shifted her life's trajectory, rewriting her destiny with each retelling of her story, each sharing of her reconstructed strength. When standing against the shadows of her past, Allison demonstrated profound courage. Facing her assailants in court, she donned an armor forged from vulnerability, pursuing justice through articulate testimony. Her bravery illuminated her path, and those of others who lived in the shadows of fear. The courtroom, once an arena of intimidation, became a testament to her newly reclaimed agency, a place where she transformed hurt into triumph. Her journey wended beyond the crisis, tracing a path through the mundane joys and challenges of life renewed. Each step she took was a dance of resilience, an expression of triumph beyond the shadows. Her experience of moving from victim to victor imbued her with a deeper appreciation for life's intricate threads. She discovered that beyond the edges of crisis lay a world of transformation, one where adversity burgeoned into fortitude. Unveiling her resilience, Allison discovered a narrative rich with stories untold, a saga of survival profoundly woven with human spirit. Her ordeal was a prologue to a triumph, inspiring hearts and encouraging others to echo her journey. Her life became a testament interwoven with universal themes of perseverance, echoing a silent yet potent call to explore resilience within our lives. Central to Alison's journey was a philosophy of strength, a contemplative understanding of resilience emerging from trials. Her perspective on survival was deepened through her insight into the character of enduringness, which draws from the heart's essence more than the body's mere endurance. This philosophy informed the narrative she sculpted for herself and others, urging a reassessment of what it means to be strong. Alison's evolution from victim to advocate became a powerful metamorphosis. No longer muted by her victimhood, she rose as a vibrant voice for others facing similar darkness, sharing her tale with sincerity and impact. Her advocacy grew into a lifeline, drawn within a collective fabric, a testament to rising above victimhood toward community empowerment. Linked threads of interconnectedness knitted through Alison's story, underscoring a shared human experience. Her narrative extended beyond her own pain, tapping into a collective consciousness where shared sorrows and triumphs unite humanity. This unity fostered a profound sense of togetherness that transcends individual boundaries, weaving individual journeys into a rich tapestry of resilience. Through the lens of adversity, Alison's quest for healing embodied not just the physical, but a renewal of spirit. Her indomitable journey from darkness into light inspired the embrace of transformation across the spectrum of human experience. Her healing marked an invitation to navigate life's breadth with new understanding, cherishing its plentiful potentials. Glimpsing into life's shadows yielded profound lessons, an illumination from adversity that painted intricate patterns across Alison's path. Her journey revealed shadows as more than mere obstacles, but as formative arenas for growth and reflection. As she walked forward, the darkness unwound into a guide, steering her through the labyrinth of existence with burgeoning wisdom. Within the fragments of trauma lay seeds of triumph, a narrative of formidable strength rising from adversity's ashes. Each part of Alison's story stitched together a victory bestowed not just upon herself, but echoed broadly. Her survival instilled a legacy of resilience, marking every personal journey with the elegant truth that transformation is possible beyond the shades of trauma. Approaching life with newfound insight, Alison's journey moved beyond mere survival toward an awakening. Her nightmare unfolded not just into clarity, but a profound exploration of existential layers. This awakening delved beneath life's surface, inviting reflection and examination of a reality far richer than the corporeal gaze alone reveals. Alison Botha's legacy traces beyond the immediate realm of survival, resonating within a collective awareness. Her tale emanates strength and perseverance, stirring a call to embrace resilience through transformational narratives. Her life, an echo in the broader human chorus, invites all to stride alongside, transcending dawn's breaking light toward collective courage, intertwined in the vibrant and winding melody of existence. In the heart of Malaysia, among the silent sentinels of stone and towering trees, lies Bukit Takun, a sacred domain for those who seek the thrill of vertical conquests. This is a place where the earth herself rises, reaching for the heavens with limestone fingers that challenge even the bravest of spirits. It was here, amidst these imposing overhangs, that Tom Boon Peng once sought to test the limits of his endurance and skill. His attempt in 2022 to conquer the towering heights of this massif would turn into a tale of survival, a spiritual journey that would echo the deep mysteries of human resilience and the raw, untamed power of nature. On the day of his climb, Tom awoke early. The world felt new and uncharted, as if awaiting his passage. The air was crisp and the skies stretched blue and boundless above him, promising an adventure that his heart had long desired. As he began his ascent, each move was intentional. He danced carefully with the rock's silent language, aware of the unpredictable temperament of the mountain. But as the afternoon sun waxed and waned, a storm brewed with a vengeance, its intent hidden in the distant thunder's low rumble. The arrival of this tempest morphed his climb from a personal quest into a dire struggle against the forces of nature. The overhangs of Bukit Takun were both magnificent and treacherous, luring climbers with the promise of glory, yet ready to ensnare those who underestimated their power. Tom's skill was unquestionable, but even the most seasoned climber is but a speck against the whims of a mountain storm. As the rain began to lash the limestone with relentless ferocity, Tom found himself stranded, perched precariously on a narrow ledge. The rock, once his ally, turned slick and hostile, challenging every ounce of his being to hold on. From this vantage, Tom could feel the mountain's indifferent grandeur all around him, reminding him of the delicate dance between man and nature. A dance dictated not by human will, but by the element's ancient and unswerving rhythms. Nightfall arrived with a chilling cloak of darkness, wrapping Tom in solitude. The mountain, cloaked in shadow, became his ethereal opponent. From his ledge, the world below seemed distant, a dream he could not touch. In this suspension between earth and sky, the only companion was the merciless wind singing its cold, haunting melody. As he secured himself with makeshift knots, Tom faced not only the physical ferocity of the elements, but also the psychological maelstrom within. His resolve was the flickering light in the overwhelming gloom, a resilient flame fueled by memories of those who awaited his return below. Below the storm, word of Tom's peril had reached the ground, sparking an immediate and fervent response. His fellow climbers and local villagers rallied at the mountain's base, forming a makeshift camp teeming with resolve and the promise of rescue. It was a scene of urgency and empathy, as each face reflected the shared commitment to retrieve their comrade from nature's indifferent grip. Here, under the vast, uncaring sky, technology became an essential ally. Drones surveyed the terrain from above, offering glimpses of the best pathways to reach Tom, while modern communication devices became lifelines connecting the ground to his perilous perch. As the rescue mission began, it was a dance with destiny, a calculated maneuver against the ticking clock of fate. The climbers who set out to reach Tom took with them the precision of practiced skill, combined with the courage drawn from human empathy. With each step, the stakes rose, the line between success and failure as fine as the thread Tom clung to on his rocky ledge. Yet, ascent and descent are part of the same cycle, and so the rescuers pressed on, hearts synchronized in shared purpose as they neared Tom's isolation. Mid-ascent, the rescue team established contact with Tom, their voices bridging the void that solitude had drawn around him. These words, infused with warmth and camaraderie, reignited Tom's spirit, stoking that inner ember of hope against the weight of despair. The heartfelt exchanges transcended the physical barriers, a signal far brighter than any beacon, turning isolation into a shared journey of resolve. As the rescuers neared, emotions flared, contrasting sharply with the cold, stoic cliff face. Each proximity brought waves of anticipation and measured relief, underscoring the delicate balance of their task. For Tom, the proximity of his rescuers heralded both salvation and a reminder of the thin line between relief and continued danger. Yet, in those crucial moments, The hands that reached him were more than a lifeline. They were the human spirit manifested, connecting beings across chasms of rock and fear. The rescue itself was a testament to human ingenuity and the intricate dance between man and gravity's undeniable pull. The rescuers' system of pulleys and counterweights became an extension of their will to defy nature's formidable grip. As they secured Tom with ropes, each harness represented more than just safety. It symbolized the culmination of shared efforts and the triumph of cooperation against the quiet, immense power of the mountain. Once Tom felt the touch of solid, life-saving hands, the bond forged under adversity became as tangible as the rock itself. It was a moment of profound connection, a human victory etched into the limestone history with deeds, not just words. As the team began their descent, each step resonated with the joyous cadence of life reclaimed from the brink. When Tom finally reached the ground, the emotional floodgates opened. Relief and elation mingled with tears and laughter in a cacophony of gratitude, celebrating his return from nature's stern embrace. For Tom, stepping once more onto the earth was more than a physical transition. It was a spiritual reunification with life's embrace, a reminder of the miraculous resilience found within humanity's collective heart. Having emerged from the brink, Tom's journey did not end with physical recovery. He was now on a path inward, toward healing and reconciliation with the mountain that had tested him so thoroughly. The ordeal left scars that spoke of both trauma and empowerment, reminders of his passage through nature's stern crucible. As Tom walked this new path, supported by community and understanding, he found solace in the narrative of resilience, building a bridge from the echoes of the past to the continuous rhythm of life. In sharing his story, Tom became part of a larger tapestry, one woven with threads of courage and caution. His ordeal serves as a beacon for future climbers, a testament to the indelible spirit of humanity interlinked with nature's majesty. As climbers gaze upon Bukit Takun, they see not just a mountain, but a monument to the enduring dialogue between man and the earth. Each climb carries with it the essence of Tom's experience, a legacy of respect, preparedness, and the synergy between adventure and caution. Through Tom's resilient climb and the collective effort to bring him safely back, the ancient bond between humans and mountains is once again affirmed. It is a relationship as old as time, a shared history of challenge and the pursuit of understanding within the rhythms of the natural world. As climbers continue to explore these heights, they carry forward the lessons of humility and respect, adding their own stories to the ever-growing chronicle of humanity's journey in harmony with the Earth's majestic forces. And so, with the courage born of experience, Tom looks once more toward the mountains, not with fear, but with a deepened respect and an understanding that the journey is as much a part of the soul as it is of the body. His story stands as a testament to the enduring spirit of those who dare to dance with the earth, finding in its challenges the rhythm of life itself. For each ascension is a step toward the heavens, a quest for the divine that resides both within and beyond every peak we dare to climb. In the shadowy heartland where Kenya meets Uganda stands Mount Elgon, an ancient sentinel steeped in mystery and lore. This primordial shield volcano cradles one of Africa's most intricate labyrinth networks, a cavernous maze birthed from centuries of volcanic upheaval and erosive whispers of time. These caves, woven silently beneath the Earth's surface, evoke awe among explorers who step timidly into their twilight realm. Hidden beneath the mountain's solemn facade, they stretch ever inward, as if beckoning the curious and the brave to uncover their spectral echoes. Tales of these caverns imbue the local communities with stories that vibrate through generations, a fusion of history, myth, and spirit, shaping custodian souls who regard the caves with reverence and fear. Within their depths, spirits are said to whisper, guardians of the veiled pathways, and keepers of secrets that lie cloaked by shadows. The songs of ancestral spirits fuse with the whispers of explorers past, those who sought refuge or revelation in the silent cathedrals carved by the earth's fury. The strikes of time's chisel etched these subterranean passages through volcanic artistry. Magma once surged from the volcano's molten heart, forging rivers of fire that cooled and surrendered to the erosive brush of water and air. Thus, the mountain exhaled a complex web of tunnels formed through patience and persistence, creating an oeuvre of stalactites and stalagmites, a theater set by time for nature's symphony. Today's geological scholars tread these ancient pathways, their minds aglow with questions about the Earth's age-old alchemy and the volcanic impetus that sculpted this harmonious chaos. Yet, within this stone library of Earth's history, tales of those swallowed by darkness remain as chilling reminders of human fragility. Miners, driven by dreams of riches drawn from deposits of salt and saltpeter, venture into these treacherous corridors. Alas, in these deceptive bowels, even seasoned souls are not safe from the snares of the maze, ensnared by the relentless pathways that promise much, yet give so little in return. The very mountain they call home becomes an adversary. With air squeezed from narrow passages and silent echoes magnifying fears, they tread the fine line between hope and oblivion. But there are those who have wrestled with darkness and emerged into the light, their stories framed by struggle and an indomitable will to survive. Rescued from the grasp of endless night, these brave souls speak with reverence of the void's timeless embrace. In obstinate tunnels where night holds dominion, feeling their way by stone and hope, they navigated steps led by some innate compass, a survival fueled by the void's stark isolation. Each rescue is a dance with fate, a concerted effort weaving through paths known and uncharted alike. Explorers wield a fusion of ancient wisdom and modern tools, clove hitches of progress and tradition. The clever tap of chalk and twine, paired with the illuminated lenses of cutting-edge technologies, reveals the labyrinth's enigmatic form. Yet beneath the rock-borne networks, the dance remains an exercise in humility. Beneath the mountain's skin, batteries fade and signals fail. It is the ancient knowledge, the gut-born intuition of those who live alongside these echoes, which guides the lost through the heart of obscurity. The darkness demands a fortitude of spirit as much as flesh. Inside the stone cocoon that blurs time and distance, explorers confront the elemental within. A psychological odyssey that bends perception, where anxiety and rapture walk alongside. Characters are stripped bare, laid upon the altar of silence, where echoes speak truths and fears are laid bare. Returnees from this journey speak not of conquest, but of rebirth, regenerated yet haunted by traces of their own phantoms. These caverns, pillars of local economies, twist livelihoods with danger's twine. Villages find sustenance from the cave-bound promise of wealth, even as families mourn those claimed by the mountain's embrace. In this delicate dance, economic need grapples with safety's plea, a communal choreography rooted in resilience and adaptation. Education becomes the forebearer of safety partnerships, technology guiding tradition's hand to forge new protocols for survival. Thus, the village heart beats in rhythm with the earth. Technology, with its precise meters and analytical peers into these caverns, painting their secrets in strokes of data light. Tools like LiDAR and seismic whispers translate the rocky monoliths into blueprints, transmuting ecology's riddles into decipherable codes. These innovations reveal yet another layer of respect between the mountain and its curious guests, a respect centuries in the making. And so the dance of progression continues amidst rock and shadow. This respect transcends mere existence. It invites stewardship of the delicate life that reverberates within Mount Elgon's subterranean cradle. Unique creatures in this perpetual dusk thrive on evolutionary quirk. Eyeless fish swim ghostly currents, pale amphibians echo the limestone hues, while microcosmic flora revel in isolation's elegance. Conservationists, guardians of these silent troves, strive to preserve the sanctity of this enclosed ecosystem. Safeguarding the primordial requires balance, a symphony of voices, ecological and human, harmonized to an ethic dictated by responsibility. Yet it is not merely for survival or prosperity that souls tread these shadowed halls. Spiritual legacies breathe in tandem with geological realities, where the very act of exploration becomes a pilgrimage into the spirit realm. Ancestors call softly across the barriers of time, their presence etched upon stone lips as seekers tread softly upon sacred pathways. Through spiritual rites, pilgrims commune with the mountain spirit, transcending mere stone to find unity within the earth's eternal embrace. Lost and found, the stories of those who journey within the labyrinth resonate with the primal fear of absence. Yet it is through these lost voices that we come to understand the fleeting nature of our presence, a dialogue with mortality spoken among the echoes. Life's fragility, kindled within the cave's breath, reveals itself there beneath the mountain's watchful gaze. Sound, within these cloistered corridors, becomes a thing of wonder, a reflection craving exploration alongside light's absence. The rhythmic tap of life's echoes creates a sonic litany that guides those willing to listen. This sacred percussion, resonating from shadow to stone, forms an auditory map of existence unseen but deeply felt. It is a forgotten symphony played by nature's hand, a mystery that calls forth the curious. And alongside human travelers, the hidden dwellers of the dark weave their own tales within Mount Elgon's recesses. Life teems in this bountiful netherworld, thriving upon dark energies and creating wondrous adaptations that speak to evolution's unparalleled brilliance. Observers now step cautiously, aware that they walk among life's resilient secrets, ever mindful of their role as both witness and protector. Here, ceremonies take root deep within the earth, forging intersections between modernity and deep-seated tradition. Rituals bind participants to the land, grounding exploration within the cultural matrix that honors the labyrinth as sacred space. Bridging past and present, these rites grant access to truths transcending time, nurturing a mutual deference that safeguards pathways old and new. In these depths, isolation cultivates introspection, an alabaster cocoon for the soul's unveiling. Here, amidst solitude's intimate clutches, explorers find clarity, the opportunity to probe the psyche against nature's indifference. Psychological metamorphosis challenges them, reshaping paradigms amidst silence's fulcrum. Today's adventurers trace the footsteps of those before them, digital and spiritual travelers alike. Their journeys retrace paths age-old and answered in part through revelations that forge bonds between brass compass and spiritual guide. Mapping data serves to enhance the skein of narratives woven across epochs, an homage paid by each step further taken into the unknown. In these sepulchral halls of Elgon, personal tales endure. Explorers, finding themselves mirrored in the dark's reflection, unfurl stories raw and vibrant. These threads connect their spirit's tapestry, soul-bound transcriptions augmenting the collective human catalog of introspection and unity. Each story weaves a richer narrative painting, a psychological fresco unattained upon Earth's surface, finding expression within vaults bound by rock and time. Personal truths resonate through ancient song, layered within Elgon's timeless refrain, a nameless harmony binding cave dwellers to cosmos, dark to light, amid the eternal human journey. In the hushed, vast expanse of northern Norway, where the mountains rise like ancient sentinels and the winds whisper tales untold, a story of extraordinary human survival took place, etching itself into the annals of history as a testament to human resilience. This tale unfolds in May of 1999, centered on a young woman named Anna Bogenholm, whose journey into the icy heart of nature would become a profound narrative of endurance against the elements. Anna, a radiology student and an experienced skier, was well acquainted with the snow-laden landscapes of Scandinavia, having been born amidst these northern climes in Sweden. On this particular day, she embarked on a seemingly routine skiing excursion with friends in the mystical Kjolin Mountains, a place where the earth meets the sky and time itself seems to stand still. The mountains, cloaked in their snowy garb, appeared serene and inviting, but beneath this calm facade lay the unpredictable force of nature, waiting to unfold its mysteries. As they glided down a familiar slope, the very earth they trusted betrayed them. Anna's skis slipped with an eerie fluidity, catapulting her toward what lay hidden, a treacherous stream masked beneath a delicate crust of ice. In a mere moment, the peace of the landscape shattered, erupting into a crisis where the boundary between adventure and peril blurred. She found herself ensnared beneath the ice, a place of unimaginable coldness and suffocation, where time became an interminable silence, interrupted only by her own labored breaths. Trapped within this crystalline tomb, the snow and ice encased Anna in an embrace both intimate and deadly. Air was scarce, and the water beneath her sapped warmth and hope in equal measure, a profound chill pervading her very being. Above, her two companions stood, the serene solitude of the mountains now punctuated by urgent cries and frantic efforts to free her. They faced a task both heart-wrenching and daunting, knowing that the minutes ticked inexorably against them. Inside this silent prison, Anna's body began to succumb to the cold, yet in this seeming catastrophe of nature lay a paradox. As the icy fingers of hypothermia wrapped around her, her bodily systems began to slow in a primal dance of survival, the very lowering of temperature that threatened life now offering a slender thread of hope. While hypothermia hovered like specters, lowering demand for oxygen and buying precious time, her spirit danced on the thin edge between life and oblivion. Her friends battled against nature with every tool at their disposal, chiseling away at the ice in desperation. The relentless winds of the mountains bit into them. The hours drew long and shadows stretched, but neither fatigue nor frost could deter their mission. Yet, as daylight faded, the realization that their strength alone might not prevail gave rise to a stark choice: calling for rescue, summoning those who dance at the edges of life and death. The call echoed through the cool air, reaching the ears of seasoned rescuers familiar with the northern wilderness's caprices. The nature of the appeal aligned with rhythms of the land, such incidents reminding all who venture into these territories that respect for nature's power is paramount. As they arrived, a new phase of this somber odyssey unfurled, bringing knowledge and tools honed for precisely such perils. With each step measured and deliberate, the rescuers ensconced themselves into the operation, an intricate ballet against the elements. The ice was breached with an understanding of its silent language, each action underscored by the tacit acknowledgement of time's gentle yet unyielding march. Unyielding hands and years of expertise turned the tide of the impossible, guiding Anna from beneath her icy shroud, reconnecting her to the world above. Once free, the arduous process of transporting Anna, no longer mere flesh but a vessel of endurance and hope, began. The rescue team, in synergy with medics skilled in their art, whisked her along a path lined with uncertainty, yet touched by determination. Through crisp air and across wintry landscapes, she traveled toward salvation, her journey marked by teamwork unparalleled and the quiet heroes of the shadows. At the hospital, the quiet intensity of healing began, a solemn dance of science and skill administered through gentle hands. Here, the tenets of medicine and innovation interwove seamlessly, rewarming her frigid body with care and precision. The marvel of extracorporeal techniques, melding technology with the art of healing, enabled her life's flicker to glow bright once more. Dr. Mads Gilbert and his team stood at the frontier of possibility, successfully coaxing warmth and vitality where none seemed evident. Over time, Anna found herself cradled back into the warmth of life. The breach between here and beyond slowly mended through steadfast care and the body's remarkable resilience. Her recovery was marked not by serenity, but gentle increments, a testament to both the limits and boundlessness of human endurance. Her homecoming was not only into the arms of her beloveds, but a return to her corporeal self. The narrative, while steeped in medical advancement, also threads with the human aspect of emotional resilience. The trauma of facing mortality beneath the ice etched deep into Anna's soul, leaving not only healed scars but questions of existence, life's purpose, and the human spirit. Her introspection, a journey of reflection and healing, provided insights both personal and universal, revealing the inner walls that break and reform stronger, guided by supportive hands of family and friends. Across her community and spanning continents, her fortitude echoed, amplifying conversations around survival and its myriad expressions. Her story, carried on gentle winds of hope, became a compendium of inspiration, provoking a dialogue that transcends the mere recounting of events. It serves as a guiding lantern through the unpredictable undercurrents of life, its glow infused by a collective appreciation for humanity's potential to endure. As the media shone its often unforgiving light on her tale, it exalted both the inspiration and the lesson within. Nature remains untamable, and in its raw beauty lies the call for respect and preparedness. The discourse burgeoned, a reflection of not only personal narrative, but a shared reflection on humanity's precarious dance with the natural world. Beyond the intricacies of individual survival, Anna's experience reiterated truths long whispered by the ancients. Our existence, shaped by forces seen and unseen, remains an exquisite tapestry interwoven with the courage of the human will. Her survival, at the juncture of adversity and hope, prompted a renewed awareness of the outdoor world's promises and perils, inviting others to embrace both with a deeper wisdom. The quiet revelations of Anna's ordeal extend beyond her into the realm of medical discourse, instigating innovations that have bore seeds within spheres of critical care. Her case study became a touchstone from which medical wisdom unspooled into broader discussions on harnessing the body's adaptive capabilities. In this, her legacy as both survivor and catalyst continues to reverberate through the halls of healing, shadowed by the persistent pursuit of enhanced outcomes for those who encounter nature's overwhelming visage. Anna Bogenholm's sojourn from the depths of an icy ravine into renewed life offers more than just a reassuring tale. It represents the intricate dance between illumination and shadow, inherent in all human endeavors. Her path through trials, both physical and spiritual, stands monument to the instances when our shared human fragility meets a fierce and determined resilience. And thus, her story, leavened with lessons of triumph and tenacity, sits quietly within the annals of survival narratives, a soft testament to hope's indomitable spark against life's relentless yet beautiful odds. In the shadowed heart of New Mexico's Carlsbad Caverns National Park, the mysterious labyrinth of Lechuguilla Cave slumbers, an unseen wonder lying beneath the arid landscape. Lechuguilla serves as a testament to Earth's hidden marvels. Its enigmatic beauty has long allured seekers drawn to untangle its concealed crypts and uncommon formations. The entrance, unassumingly uncovered in 1986, belied depths where corridors stretch for over 150 miles, inviting the venturesome into an elaborate warren of chambers. Within this subterranean world, light wanes rapidly, leaving intrepid souls ensconced in darkness where only the faint echo of footsteps remains. Here, amid the surreal landscape, cavers delve into a domain embracing secrets ancient and profound. Descending into Lechuguilla's depths is to embark on a passage through time itself. A vast maze created by millennia, carved by the slow alchemy of sulfuric acid upon limestone, shelters vistas that eschew the familiar. Beneath layers, beyond the sun's embrace, the cave opens into a realm of crystal formations and delicate gypsum chandeliers that appear as dreamscapes, untouched by daylight. It is an underworld that beckons adventurers seeking escape from the mundane constraints above, drawing them into a cavernous embrace where the known world fades away. Yet the allure of Lechuguilla's beauty belies a perilous nature. Among the entrancing formations and labyrinthine passages, it whispers of fragile beauty tangled with danger. For those daring to uncover wonders hidden from time's reach, the journey vows a confrontation with nature's untamed artistry. Within, the cave turns from marvel to menace in instances unforeseen, concealing voids that transform awe into alarm. Whether a veil of solace or solitude, it remains an entity both beautiful and beguiling, tempting the curious, yet waiting to ensnare the unwary. In such a place, the heart of human resilience is summoned profoundly. Eager explorers plunge into this dark netherworld, aspiring to chart its cryptic paths. Yet mapping Lechuguilla challenges even the most experienced, as its intangible maze casts disorientation underfoot. Here, cavers who venture together may find themselves ensnared by disorientation's grip, each turn an echo of another, leading deeper into perplexity. The unyielding darkness, unremitting silence, and ceaseless uncertainty erode confidence and test fortitude, brimming with the uneasy allure of necromantic appeal. Illuminated only by faltering headlamps, the explorers navigate blind drifts and stone alleys carved by time. Those menacing depths press in, distorting senses and suppressing vitality, obscuring unknown paths in shadows, where hope's light seems remote. Yet within this dusky enclosure, the mind engages in battles equal and fierce to those waged by flesh. Here, confronted by primal fears, the psyche generates phantoms out of gaseous bravado, doubting every decision and conjuring spirits from every crevice. The environment strips away pretense and resolves only to accentuate its existential hazards. Navigating toward unexplored ends becomes a test of endurance over all else. Even skilled cavers find that retracing steps reveals no familiar markers, as each decision rests on instinct and trust forged along the sensory plane. In this void, confidence drains and ambition contracts, constrained by nature's directive to quell intrusions within its hidden core. Success harbors within sharp mindfulness and adaptability, silence whispering tales unreadable save to those who seek to listen. Such tales, etched through geologic change, offer clues for hearts hale and poised to discern these riddles of unseen origin. Beyond this twilight world, the landscape above remains shrouded in stark tranquility, concealing lives held captive beneath. When explorers remain ensnared within Lechuguilla, emergency becomes a race against time played on timeless ground. Rescuers, prepared with precision yet humbled by uncertain passage, pause against underworld puzzles that had overwhelmed their peers. Below, urgency tempers caution, conveying crews upon a mission of tenacity in conditions premised on past muster. Rescue efforts demand meticulous planning and unwavering resolve, each decision cast by light and course, shaped by methods honed in challenge's flame. Where darkness vies with determination, an intricate ballet cloaked within fierce devotion twining earthbound hope reveals human endeavor. In this setting, communication forms a fragile bond across the underrealm, tying surface responders with their subterranean counterparts to weave chaos into hope's tapestry. Each tactical nuance grants lifelines that without necessity reaffirm humanity's tether to resolve. Yet challenges rise even toward salvation, for this cave propounds enigmas accessible only to those possessing a union of foresight and bravery. Rescuers intruding upon unfamiliar paths abide by both luminous courage and judicious exactitude, their vigilance tempered by stringent awareness of consequence. As they advance, sonic signals breach etched crypts, echoing hope to wend the call toward those awaiting daylight's renewal. Despair threatens to protract the dark depths where trapped cavers dwell, souls unsure of respite, as shadows throttle their resolve. Yet it is here, amid adversity's prominence and time's tyranny, that resilience fosters hope against dark's tyranny. From caverns lifted, light's pending appearance evokes ardent sway, small victories rendering despair inconsequential through determination's rapture. Throughout enduring trial, encouragement bridges the void, guiding the shepherded through bleak infernia. Radiant in their indomitable will, explorers gird through an otherworldly marathon, steadfastly gripping their blazing threads of hope. Influenced by camaraderie's light, they rebuke shadows both of stone and spirit, imprinting unity upon endeavors wrought bold within hidden places. Consequently, the trials overcome by human indomitability fabricate resolve from chaos's raw precipitate, alchemizing hard-won victories drawn from void and uncertainty. As shadows recede, sunlight greets those surfacing with newfound clarity amidst each breath of open air, marking the threshold of time's sanctuary from humanity's bold trespass, forged victorious. Where primal darkness sought ascendancy, kinship asserted its beacon boldly, crafting a lighthouse in every shared bond cast secure between past misfortune and future challenges unconfronted. Standing unbowed within light's resounding acclaim, their return celebrates newfound purpose interwoven within triumph's narrative, gilded by acknowledgement of where strength and fragility embraced. Emerging replete from this crucible, survivors bear forth insights into their limits and strengths, crystallizing truths gleaned during stays in Earth's belly. Tempered by twilight, each soul emerges into day's vast intimacy as latent appreciation bathes every vista elemental anew. Hard-won knowledge lends credence to guardian paths untrod, echoing lessons poised with their successors, stelae embolden guiding initiatives through corridors resistant of fathoming. Thus journey thrives among these chambers, scripts etched in stone echoed through time's recorded lyric, endowing a continuum eloquent between human sovereignty and nature's lattice. As maps weave knowledge from caves' crypt, new observers take measure of Earth's profound dialogue unveiled. Clarity of previously hidden sagas empowers observers to rise beyond enigma's veil, forcing light into domains giving testimony with grace, magnifying insights learned. Deep within this dance between ravaged dimension and humanity as directive seeker, accumulation of lessons osmotically shared foreshadows tomorrow's intrepid aim. Each subsequent generation engages with these enigmatic layers, an unbroken chain linking past prologue with present endeavors as misaligned for purpose and precision alike. As understanding threads exploitation's call against each cave encounter, each valuable Herculean valor becomes expressed in tandem with Earth's own legacy, binding remembrance. Intertwined among shadows where secret channels harbor undreamt tales, latent technology lights space once obscured. Helmets safeguard intellect's array with beacon torches, whose rays split night's opaque content. Tools both ancient and modern converge. Ropes that anchor thought to ground amid vracial exploration engage with sonic relays that converse insights across humanity's curious search. By hands combined and spirit enjoined, terrain becomes revelation actualized, minimizing path-terminated dread toward tangible promise. Within Lechugila, scientific inquiry reveals traces of complex interactions, the delicate fusion of geology, water's whisper, and biological paradox woven as forgotten legends taking root. Scholars seek to illuminate the world by harnessing the veritable trove couched within Earth's cradle. Mapping uncharted crackle cries and microbial knowledge discovered among encrypted chasms imbue appreciation of nature's resilience, as this story in rock whispers invaluable points. While Merger Deep ensures such discoveries thrive alongside conservation, establishment alongside care brings alchemy unyielded yet within underworld mosaic. Consequently, ethical deliberations express balance adhered within humanity's imposing tread of this arboreal, scarred boundary, where yearning dominates amidst whispers of preservation. Abiding among tender formations lie tales formed unscathed, that future patrons might therein find alignment with organic serenade through their steps, restrained reverential with care. Decisions founded against singular imprints reinforce that exploration affirms mutual reflection on shared narrative twisting storied grace within, as minerals shelter harmonious delay. Lechugila retains its cultural force and resonance among traditions both contemporary and traditional, for sacred dialogues span generations as shared tapestries blooming herein transform minerality into meaning. Stories reveal where paths blend visible with invisible, illuminating relationships extending as far as echoes sown among people grounded both to landscapes past and aspirations possibility anew. Through people's collective consciousness, its stories fuel humanity's innate embrace, weaving shared psalms inspiring others acquainted with this hidden form within esoteric embrace. Such shared tales forming caver circles encase lessons derived from those whose paths traversed respected boundaries between reflection and revelation unknown, crafting enduring legacies embedded among timeless paradigms. Within these hidden chambers lie secrets imprinted verdant upon ethereal foundation, defining exploration's boundaries even as new origins await further grips. Emerging enigmas bestowed uncover crypts secured amid Lechugia's caverns, subject mysteries revealed. Luminescent exploration glowing as humankind wrangles beneath shadow's tender embrace. Here, poised on clandestine truths, contemporary seekers forge forth, guided by timeless knowledge, decorated in revelatory hue by their energies enfolding accompanying discovery. In the spun elixir of Earth's mineral grandeur, caving endows journeys casting their own loom. For as adventurers parse subterranean chambers gleaming with intrigue's possibilities, those transcending Lechugila's core engage with adventure at its most immediate, breathing aspirations resolved into woeful intimacy as stone enfleshed conceals. Now tales commit as enduring record of intentions wrought beyond shade's gentle lure, reconciling what questions now dream, inducing converge upon answers patiently brewed as balance is shaped again. The Isle of Skye, a solitary jewel off the northwest coast of Scotland, beckons with its rugged beauty and the promise of adventure. It speaks in a language of mist and stone, drawing intrepid souls to its landscapes, where raw nature and untamed spirit converge. This remote paradise offers vistas that captivate, yet beneath its surface lies a latent treachery, a complex labyrinth forged by the restless hands of time and geology. Among its mysteries stands the Killen Ridge, a serrated spine of mountain peaks that rises like ancient sentinels, its sharp ridges and precipitous drop-offs a solemn testament to nature's indifference, its eternal design etched into granite. The Cuillin, often veiled in swirling fog and enigma, inspires both awe and trepidation. Legends whisper through its heights, passed down from one generation to the next, melding myth and reality into a spectral narrative of conquest and calamity. Climbers, seasoned and green alike, are drawn to its challenges, navigating its shifting paths with reverent caution. Here, in this crucible where the celestial dances with the terrestrial, mutineers forge their destinies. A single misstep may spell tragedy, turning passion into poignant memory. At the heart of the Cuillin lies Dead Man's Alley, a spine aptly named for the many lives it has claimed, its haunting sobriquet echoing tales of ghostly climbers and spectral whispers caught in the marriage of stone and sky. Local lore tells of adventurers lost to sudden mists or tempests, their endeavors swallowed by nature's capricity, each incident imbuing the alley with a tapestry of human endeavor and folly. Despite the risk, this place of isolation and myth holds an irresistible allure for the adventurous spirit, becoming a transcendental journey where conquering fear becomes as vital as ascending the peaks. For the intrepid, the Cuillin presents an opportunity transcending mere physical endeavor. It offers communion with the ancient soul of the earth. The Cuillin's call is like none other, a siren song to the psyche, a call to test one's mettle against the untamed forces of nature. Every climber who embarks on this journey seeks more than achievement. They seek connection, found in the rigorous dance with the land's rugged majesty. Annually, Climbers etch their presence onto this enduring legacy, lured by beauty and danger intertwined. Yet the mountains remain indifferent, unmoved by human bravado, as silent witnesses to our temporal aspirations. The Cuillin Ridge stands as a monument of Scottish climbing lore, its dark history serving as a solemn reminder of nature's unpredictable power. Early climbers faced relentless conditions with rudimentary tools, their legends carved into the alley's ghostly reputation. Mistaken routes and sudden storms have scripted a tragic chronicle, a litany of climbers' journeys that nature concluded with indifference. The treacherous beauty of the highlands conceals shapes and sounds, demanding intuition and patience in the dance with its veil. A growing repository of tales from yesteryear amplifies the seriousness of each step as they echo through the corridors of time. In the orchestra of elements that conspire within the Cuillin, weather serves as both maestro and player, shaping narratives with its unpredictable symphony. It shifts capriciously from serenity to torment, veiling paths and ensnaring climbers in gales and fog. Amidst these conditions, mental resilience holds up like starlight in the void, as climbers face the dread of diminished visibility, cold rain turning paths to perilous mazes. Seasoned guides hone a sixth sense, detecting subtle shifts in the air that signify nature's clandestine plans. For those less attuned, an inner voice urges caution, whispering stories of past missteps as guides through the fog. Surviving Dead Man's Alley demands a harmony of the practical and the mystical. Training transforms imagination into familiarity as climbers simulate conditions to build stamina, grooving their senses to the unseen rhythms above. The Cuillin tests more than strength and agility. It assesses adaptability, pressing against the boundaries of intuition and preparation. This vast classroom requires understanding beyond maps and gear, imploring climbers to carry an intrinsic knowledge ingrained through experience and humility. Past expeditions lend their echoes, their lessons intertwined with the present, guiding each new footfall on these storied stones. The tides of modernity have deposited new tools at the climber's feet. Yet even advanced gear cannot dissolve the dance between human capability and nature's grandeur. High-performance clothing, GPS devices, and communication technologies lend confidence, but do not replace the reliance on one's senses developed over endless hours of navigating complex pathways. In this meeting of tradition and innovation, climbers forge a relationship between past wisdoms and the possibilities of today, each journey a palimpsest of history and human longing. In the shadow of the Cuillin, tales of survival illuminate the darkened paths. Rescuers embody a unique kind of heroism, merging courage with tactical expertise. Their stories are carved into the very foundation of these communities as they face relentless elements and work with limited resources. Local volunteers, mountain rescue teams, and spontaneous camaraderie form ligaments within this body of heroism, where coordinated actions raise hope against the looming despair of stranded climbers. Each rescue mission weaves another thread into this narrative tapestry, binding human spirit and natural resilience in a timeless partnership. Underneath the adventurous spirit, an ethic of responsibility runs deep within the climbers of the Cuillin. To engage with the allure of this rugged landscape while respecting its boundaries requires a balance of determination and humility. It becomes a dance of responsibility, a dichotomy of risk and caution underpinning each endeavor. Climbers are called to enact a dialogue of respect with the land, recognizing its power, its fragility, and the shared story it holds with those who dare to traverse it. The Cuillin also stands as a cultural and spiritual icon, woven into the narrative fabric of Scottish Gaelic tradition and folklore. Here, myth and reality blur, enhancing the climber's quest with layers of spiritual connections and ancestral echoes. Legends of spirits and ancient riddles interlace with the experience, transforming the climb into more than just a physical voyage, but a ceremony of self-discovery and connection. These ridges are living bridges, extending through time, uniting climbers with those who have undertaken pilgrimage before them. Despite the dangers known to the Cuillin, its compelling beauty and the sacred quest for meaning continue to draw climbers upwards. Here, overcoming the physical is only part of the climb. The inner frontier offers passage into insights beyond the ordinary world. It is an eternal allure where methods and madness mingle, revealing hidden fibers of clarity against the rock's stern gaze. Lessons become etched deeper than the surface of the peaks, resonating with a truth that guides future climbers through the hushed whispers of the mountain's allure. Conservation and stewardship, necessary to preserve the Cuillin's sacred legacy, are mirrored in efforts to protect the ecological and cultural reservoirs within. The flora and fauna inhabiting its slopes form an intricate tapestry of life, unique to its rugged environment. Educating adventurers and locals alike fosters a culture of respect and protection, ensuring disruption does not tarnish this haven. Through collaboration and mindfulness, climbers become guardians of the landscapes they traverse, nurturing the legacy of life sustained within the mountain's embrace. A quiet beauty lies in the stories carried by the tradition of Scottish Gaelic, where language propels legends and reality's map runs deeper than physical terrain. Place names, songs, and spoken tales express the symbiotic relationship between people and land, a legacy woven in phrases that echo through the heart of the mountains. Through these narratives, climbers find not only direction, but a deeper connection, knotted into the vast narrative expanse that transcends language and place. Wisdom arises through history's lessons, and the dialogue between past and present becomes a vital resource. Lessons transferred across generations enhance understanding, forming a legacy of knowledge, encouraging resilience amidst the challenges of the Cuillin. This curated wisdom informs newer generations, planting seeds of awareness and respect, crafting each ascent into a collective memory infused with hope. Each footfall carries the weight and wisdom of countless others, sharing the sacred task of reproducing tradition in time's continuum. Adventurers must navigate the psychological tapestry interwoven into the fabric of the Cuillin, where fear and courage must be tuned to harmony's pitch. Engaging life's demands requires that climbers transform fear into fuel while cultivating courage's innate presence. This navigation is personal and mythic, an ordeal that reflects humanity's innate desire to confront both internal and external domains. Self-awareness walks with each climber, nurtured by moments where nature demands reflection and self-revelation. It's a delicate, profound relationship, the Cuillin's timeless dance inviting and illuminating the climb within. At the intersection of myth and mind, climbers find both guiding lights and symbolic thresholds. Myths woven through the stones interpret more than external geography. They present inner landscapes and existential paths, bridging realities both literal and abstract. Each climber steps into a stream bound to mythic narratives where echoes of past and future entangle, offering perspective and depth. Here, legends and the mind's power unite to provide travelers with metaphoric treasures, a guiding luminescence that enhances the pursuit of the spirit's quest. The Quillen casts its spell over both the artistic mind and the literary imagination, providing a backdrop and inspiration for expressions that capture the raw beauty and existential challenge of the climb. Whether rendered through vivid paintings or eloquent prose, the mountain's restless being finds life in art, enshrining its secrets and trials as monumental tests of spirit and form. Each portrayal becomes a beacon that resonates with timeless energy, inviting introspection and a celebration of awe's transformative power. As climbers finally arrive at the peaks of the Quillen, they stand enveloped by the winds their predecessors knew, beholding vistas that breathe freedom and majesty. That summit moment culminates not merely in accomplishment, but in reflection, a contemplative acknowledgement of life's impermanence, married to the timeless grace of the earth below. This journey to the sky remains ever a dance in awe, where each silence, each breath, and each moment upon the peak is a profound communion of the human spirit wedded to nature's infinite mystery. El Capitan, a monumental granite sentinel rising majestically over Yosemite Valley, has long been both a beacon and a challenge to climbers worldwide. Its sheer face, sculpted over millennia by the hands of nature, projects a stark beauty that seems on the verge of defying gravity. It inspires awe and a profound humility in those who attempt to ascend its heights. This towering giant also embodies nature's duality, a paradoxical blend of alluring beauty and latent danger. Those who venture to climb it are often drawn by the allure, the pull of conquering one of the planet's most formidable vertical challenges. Yet, the mountain's history is rich with stories of the precarious balance between triumph and tragedy, tales of climbers caught not just on ropes, but suspended in moments of life and death, where each decision holds a significant weight. Such narratives of survival against harrowing odds become enduring testaments to human courage and resilience. The ascent of El Capitan is steeped in a cultural legacy that marks the birth of big wall climbing, an evolution that occurred during the mid-20th century, spearheaded by visionary pioneers like Warren Harding and Royal Robbins. These innovators shattered perceived limits and transformed once deemed insurmountable granite faces into attainable feats of human endeavor. Their daring exploits laid the groundwork for climbing as we know it today, fostering a culture rooted in perseverance and ingenuity. These climbers approached El Capitan not as conquerors of nature's formidable grandeur, but as respectful challengers. Their journeys required cutting-edge innovation, such as the development and use of pitons and assisted climbing techniques, effectively broadening the horizon for vertical ascents. Big wall climbing evolved not just as a sport, but as a spiritual voyage, a way for climbers to engage deeply and intimately with the natural world, testing their mental resilience and physical boundaries against the backdrop of nature's raw, untamed beauty. Engaging with El Capitan demands an understanding of physics, a domain where each climbing choice becomes a conversation between balance, friction, and gravity. Every movement fosters a graceful dance with verticality, embodying a dialogue with the mountain rather than a battle. The physical act of climbing transforms into a meditative experience, each motion serving as a reflection on ascent and persistence. El Capitan's face, eternally shaped by time, becomes a mirror, reflecting both the individual strengths and vulnerabilities of those who dare to scale it. Within this geological cathedral, climbers find themselves humbled yet empowered by the immutable laws that govern the universe. Wind, the invisible yet palpable force, remains one of the most formidable and unpredictable elements climbers confront on El Capitan. Transforming instantaneously from a whisper to a howl, it becomes both mental and physical crucible, reminding adventurers of nature's dominant hand. When the wind intensifies into a tempest, testing nerves and muscles alike, climbers must delve into a well of inner strength to find calm amidst chaos. Through the mighty roar of the tumultuous gale, they learn adaptability, sometimes giving way, at times persevering, but always respecting the mountain's sovereignty. Suspended mid-climb, the climbers find refuge in portalages, those temporary sanctuaries of fabric and alpine ingenuity. Hundreds of feet above the ground, these tents offer a precarious shelter that sways gently with the mountain's every sigh. In this small, swinging enclave, climbers experience an unmatched intimacy with the mountain and themselves, cocooned amidst vast emptiness. Yet, even within the seeming safety of these ledges, the element's unpredictable willpower reminds them of their vulnerability, each creak in the materials a testament to the tenuousness of their existence. This transitional space becomes a place of meditation and reflection, enfolding the climbers in the terror and beauty of El Capitan's suspended realm. Beyond physical challenge, climbing El Capitan beckons climbers to face personal fears that resonate profoundly against the human psyche. The exposure, the heights, and the relentless force of gravity catalyze introspection and existential questioning. This towering stone becomes a canvas upon which climbers project their deepest anxieties and aspirations, with the journey often proving as psychological as it is physical. Confronted by the void, climbers traverse the labyrinthine landscapes of their minds, drawing strength from vulnerability and courage from fear. In this crucible of self-discovery, El Capitan serves as a testament to the enduring resilience of the human spirit, where fear, when faced, morphs into resolve, and exposure breeds enlightenment. El Capitan's stories are etched in stone, history's echo resonating in the tales of historical rescues, heroic endeavors that form a tapestry of bravery woven through climbing history. Every rescue operation is not just a mission, but a testament to a communal bond of climbers transcending personal ambitions for the greater cause of shared survival. These accounts reveal a delicate balance, the precarious edge between danger and deliverance, where time and precision form the crucial elements of this dance with fate. The narratives that are born, the lives pulled from El Capitan's grasp, are diverse and inspiring, each illustrating a microcosm of human tenacity, individuals united by fate and fortified by compassion and solidarity toward one another. Through touch and feel, climbers engage in silent discourse with El Capitan, developing an intimate lexicon with the mountain. Each scrape and echoing tap forms a series of messages whispered in stone, tales passed down from others who have ascended these heights. It is within this communion that climbers forge connections not only with the rock, but with themselves, interpreted through a language as ancient as the earth itself. As they climb, they become attuned to these subtly imprinted narratives of other souls that have scaled them, reading the story of persistence and exploration. Through this engagement, they learn to listen, understanding the mountain's subtleties, weaving themselves into its ancient narrative where they find guidance and solace in its timeless embrace. Climbing becomes an opportunity for introspection, where solitude on El Capitan grants climbers a sanctuary of self-reflection. In these moments of isolation, encapsulated within silence's cradle, climbers are left to mirror their innermost thoughts, exploring the rugged terrain of their spirits. Solitude is often daunting, yet it provides a soothing balm, amplifying inner echoes that unravel the tangles of consciousness as they climb the heights without, discovering vastness within. This journey into solitude offers a form of introspective exploration, with El Capitan becoming a sacred locale for reflection, guiding the climbers back to themselves within the vast wilderness of human experience. Climbers who have faced adversity on El Capitan often return transfigured, their experiences illuminating the enduring resilience of the human spirit. Their stories carry echoes of survival and transformation, highlighting human capacity to grow, evolve, and emerge strengthened from challenges. Climbing, thus, parallels life, a canvas painted with ascents and descents, filled with perceived obstacles overshadowed by triumphant colors etched by endurance. On the canvas of El Capitan's face, setbacks become opportunities, while the insurmountable proves surmountable, rekindling hope and reminding us of human potential to rise above shadows and find light in the daunting embrace of darkness. Nature's forces embody a power that is at once majestic and indifferent, and El Capitan stands as a testament to this profound lesson. Climbers must willingly enter this vibrant ecosystem, acknowledging both nature's beauty and indifference. When elements rage, those who dare to ascend must align their resolve not with aspirations of conquest, but rather embrace harmony with nature's laws, seeing El Capitan as both sanctuary and adversary, teaching patience and adaptability. This interplay between climbers and the rock fosters a deep understanding of uncertainty as essential aspects of the journey, breathing serenity into acknowledgement of life's uncontrollable forces. For those who climb, El Capitan is a living entity, resonating with a heartbeat that pulses silently beneath its stone visage. This rhythmic connection transcends skin and stone, becoming a spiritual communion with the earth itself. Climbers listen, attuning to this cadence, finding balance and solace in the mountain's steady presence. Such encounters cultivate a sense of unity with the natural world, reminding climbers of their place within a larger tapestry of life. A shared journey with no separation between self and stone. Climbing El Capitan enters an unspoken covenant stitched from legacy, honoring past generations while paving new paths for future explorers. This interwoven tradition mixes respect with innovation, showcasing an evolving culture where traditions meet fresh perspectives, creating a rich tapestry of shared wisdom. Veterans mentor enthusiastic newcomers, fostering collaboration through the seamless exchange of knowledge and technique. In this crucible of learning, each ascent becomes a narrative chapter, narrating the journey's ongoing story. Climbing transforms into an art form, where each movement resonates as a brushstroke on nature's canvas. The harmony melds movement and mountain, grace and strength, into a ballet of fluidity and precision. Such art transcends mere physical endeavor, refining and shaping the climbers through the beauty they witness and create. The rugged divinity of stone surfaces juxtaposes with the intangible grace of light and shadow, with each interaction inviting a meditative exploration of self and spirit, a testament to human determination intertwined with the alluring artistry carved by nature's invisible sculptor. El Capitan is a formidable gateway to the sublime, transforming the ordinary into profound encounters. Its cliffs stand as a threshold between worlds, where climbers glimpse vast mysteries woven by nature. Such transcendence summons awe and reverence, deepening the bonds between humankind and their surroundings. this threshold leads climbers to connect with the sacred, illuminating paths of inner peace and expanding awareness of their place within the grand cosmic vastness. Silence becomes a silent partner, enveloping climbers on their ascent, a profound teacher skilled at guiding those who embrace its lessons. Without words, thoughts shape within this quietude, leading climbers to listen and attune their inner narratives to the mountain's repertoire. Silence transforms into a safe space for contemplation and awareness, allowing climbers to shed life's noise and focus on nature's minimalistic present. Through silence, climbers ground themselves, finding insight, clarity, and balance amid the immediacy of El Capitan's majestic presence. The ropes and anchors that bind climbers to El Capitan are subtle yet vital cords that symbolize these inherent connections. Winding through hands and stone, they create a fabric of shared stories, blending individual challenges into a unified journey of experience. These lifelines resonate with trust and solidarity, celebrating both safety and companionship as climbers ascend. Bonds form through challenges and victories, finding strength not only in material, but also in collective resilience. El Capitan is humankind's perpetual classroom, teaching invaluable lessons of elemental nature. Weather, terrain, and altitude mold climbers' understanding, offering wisdom free from the confines of success or failure, but rooted in adaptation and perseverance. As students of nature, climbers absorb these lessons with respect and humility, growing with each encounter. The stone and sky become guides, bestowing wisdom that extends beyond climbing, enriching lives with gratitude, a sense of awe, and a deeper connection to Earth. The interplay of light and shadow across El Capitan's massive face unravels a dynamic dance, a cosmic spectacle that captivates those who gaze upward. Each change of illumination reveals new tapestries, inviting climbers to witness both ephemeral beauty and the eternal rhythms of the universe. As spectators and participants, climbers join this grand performance, tuning into celestial signals that deepen their reverence for interconnected existence, rekindling a shared wonder that binds climber and mountain. El Capitan's granite layers chronicle epochs, serving as a bridge from ancient pasts to this fleeting present, connecting climbers with a lineage steeped in both geological and human narratives. As climbers ascend, they carve their own stories alongside the ancient stone, contributing to an ever-unfolding narrative etched deep into its visage. Engaging with these layers evokes contemplations of continuity, where reflective fingers follow the sculpted lines of history that resonate with tales from ages gone by. At its heart, climbing El Capitan represents a profound intersection between mind and mountain, challenging climbers both physically and spiritually. Here, amidst rock and sky, climbers explore emotional landscapes, reshaping fears and doubts through this shared journey toward self-discovery. The mountain becomes an introspection mirror, empowering climbers with resilience and awareness, a crucible where self and stone merge in transformative union. El Capitan rises as a natural cathedral in stone, a sacred ascent that renders climbing a sincere pilgrimage of body, heart, and spirit. Earth and sky intersect as yearning souls embark upon a spiritual journey. Within this sanctuary, climbers encounter moments of transcendent clarity, reflecting upon existence and interdependence, experiencing a unique synergy that reaffirms unity with the sacred whispers echoing through rock and sky. Each climber who approaches becomes a thread within El Capitan's rich tapestry of memory, a contributor to the legacy of triumph and tribulation for those who follow. The mountain serves both as canvas and curator, preserving and curating the living stories left behind. These woven memories form a shared community that transcends time, celebrating the lasting power of connection and honoring the symphony of narrative begun by those who dare to climb. Ultimately, the climb up El Capitan is an embodiment of endurance, a testament to the tenacity of body, mind, and spirit pushed to their limits and beyond. Each climber learns the delicate dance of adaptation, discovering inner strength whenever body and mind align deeply with the mountain. Endurance transcends simple persistence. It is an evolving testament to resilience, unlocking potential and fostering profound transformation. The legacy of those who have dared to ascend El Capitan is one of transformation. A pilgrimage toward the summit, marking personal evolution carved upon stone. Beyond tales of adventure, the transformation they undergo fosters a deeper connection to self, others, and the world, where nature and challenge forge a journey of exploration and understanding. El Capitan bears witness and participant, nurturing introspection and growth that weaves climbers into an enduring narrative of aspiration, compassion, and unity. The Maze District, a secluded enclave within Utah's Canyonlands National Park, stands as a formidable testament to nature's untamed beauty. A labyrinth sculpted by time, with its deep canyons and towering rock structures, it poses a complex challenge for cartographers and adventurers alike. It is a place shrouded in enticing mystery, yet fraught with peril for the unprepared. Here, the landscape itself tests every traveler, demanding an ancient form of navigation, akin to how explorers once trusted the sun and stars to guide them. The district's sprawling, rugged terrain reveals its secrets sparingly. Its seemingly endless horizon masquerades as a perpetual riddle, where directions blur and distances deceive. Here, nature plays the dual role of guide and trickster, offering vistas that tempt the soul only to shroud them in deceptive passageways. The enigma of the Maze District promises both discovery and danger in equal measure, its seductive allure warning visitors to tread with reverence. In the gentle embrace of a desert dawn, an intrepid hiker ventures into this unknown wilderness, drawn by the allure of unspoiled solitude. Armed with the modern trappings of provisions and maps, there lies a false confidence in technology, a belief that it can conquer the immensity of this wild frontier. But soon, as the sun climbs higher and the vastness of the maze reveals itself, enthusiasm yields to the creeping fingers of doubt. The path itself becomes unfamiliar, a testament to humankind's arrogance before nature's grandeur. Dependency on technology, a misplaced sense of security, quickly unravels in this isolated terrain. The static crackle of devices searching for signal serves as a reminder of its limitations, transforming technology into a mere spectral form of safety. Lost in these barren expanses, the hiker's journey unfolds as an awakening to nature's enduring wisdom, where survival relies not on modern tools, but on intuition and age-old knowledge. The journey thus becomes a dance with the elements, a negotiation of instincts with the land's ancient rhythms. In history, ancient travelers navigated through the stars, interpreting the paths of wind and sky as cryptic guides across lonely seas and uncharted landscapes. Their wisdom illuminates the journey, offering an esoteric framework of connection between humankind and the earth. Within this mystical embrace, the hiker learns to read the sun's shadow as a living map, to follow a pathway defined by nature's silent narrative. Isolation in the maze is a paradoxical companion where profound silence invites introspection into the solitude. In this sanctuary of broken sunlight and shadowed silence, the heart becomes both ally and adversary, its solitary beat marking the passage of time. As daylight shrinks, the world contracts around the fading tremors of warmth. Memory, the ever-watchful specter, becomes a touchstone of safety, while casting flashes of rescue bids in the mind. Resorting to survival takes on a psychological dimension, an echo of isolation wrestling against tenacity. The duality of nature offers sanctuary, yet poses threat. Heights provide reprieve, yet obscure paths with shadowed mischief. It promises solace from the sun, while resurrecting storms that unearth the fiercest aspects of survival strategy. The challenge of adaptation evolves into a harmony between the hiker's resolve and nature's authoritative rhythm, a respectful engagement with the elemental forces. Each hardship morphs into a teacher's lesson, etched upon the hiker's memory, a testament to patience shaped by the winds of experience. Against this backdrop, the importance of resourcefulness emerges as a crucial part of survival. Water becomes not just sustenance, but a symbol of life itself. Each scarce drink is savored as an elixir, bought at the cost of time's advance. Rationing becomes a ritual, requiring not only physical inventory, but the conservation of mental and emotional resources. Fatigue seeps in, as insidiously as shadows lengthening in the desert day, leaving the hiker potentially vulnerable to nature's whims. As the sun dips, the maze's shadows grow longer, entrapping the soul into meditative reflection. The harshness of the landscape transforms into a quest, a journey inward as well as outward. In surrendering to the maze's austere beauty, the hiker challenges their inner storms, surrendering superficial distractions to embrace a deeply spiritual pilgrimage. The ancient song of sand and stone whispers truths unburdened by language, inviting the pilgrim into nature's amphitheater of spiritual reflection. Wrapped in the embrace of the desert's symphony, the hiker transcends the bounds of conventional time. The cyclical turn of sun and shadow paints a narrative of repetition upon the canyon walls, a reminder of human existence within the eternal march of nature. Here, time becomes both fluid and static, enveloped in a cosmic dance of earth, sky, and self. It is a reminder that all gentleness and hardships flourish together beneath this timeless canopy. In this unpredictable landscape, survival is a testament to adaptability, where unexpected turns demand immediate adjustment. Mastering the art of fluidity becomes essential. The hiker must evolve with the complexities encountered, merging adaptability with artistic intuition. It is here that trust, in both self and the elements, becomes the strongest thread which knits together triumph and discovery. With each step, the maze shifts in its mysteries, transforming challenges into gateways beyond mere physicality. Rising from chaos emerges growth, a transformation guided by an acceptance of the unknown. The vastness of the wilderness proves not as adversary, but as the catalyst necessary for resilience. As the hiker ventures onward, embracing the uncertainty of the maze, a journey of self-discovery holds sway, filled with personal evolutions drawn from nature's enigmatic embrace. In this sacred solitude, the unknown becomes a bridge to future potentialities, often hidden in fear's disguise. As night descends, the contours of the maze take on a spectral quality, crafting new wonders in the interplay of moonlight and shadow. Here, out of the darkness, emerges a realm of contemplation, where courage meets vulnerability upon the chessboard of solitude. Beneath the vault of stars, an introspective dialogue blooms, the whisper of insights born of silent communion with nature's abyss. The solitude of night provides both an eerie and comforting blanket beneath which courage finds grounding. The maze stands as a storied keeper, quietly holding its narrative in the layerings of earth and stone. Every curve and archway whispers secrets from ancient travelers, an archive of footsteps echoed in silence. Here, the hiker's trail becomes an extension of ageless transits, reflecting an unbroken lineage connecting past wanderers to future pilgrims. As the journey progresses, each step resonates with the hiker's own legacy, interwoven with the timeless melodies of those that came before. The journey through the maze ultimately becomes one of legacy, a memory of understanding survival as a bond wrought within humanity and nature. Within the wilderness swells the harmonious cadence of personal growth. Each footprint is a marker etched into the tapestry of experiences threaded through endurance, reinforcing the simple, profound connection to the present and the past. Here lies part of a greater symphony, a contribution to the enduring conversation shared by the tapestry of life with itself. Trust weaves connections with the unseen presence of community, anchoring hope within the unseen network of shared challenges. The recognition of dependence on the community resonating beyond the wilderness acts as a vital support network. Here, the soul reaffirms the belief that transcendence is interwoven through networks shaped by the bonds of resilience. It recalls the existence of guardians whose care, whispered as shadows over the approach of night, offers both salvation and sanctuary. Within the isolation of the maze, solitude fosters an environment ripe for sacred introspection, revealing truths beneath layers of distraction. Here, the traveler descends into contemplation. As ambition falls away, the spirit listens to nature's symphony. Confronted by this journey toward inner dialogue, revelations blossom, unraveling personal strength hidden beneath the veneer of modern life. The pilgrimage becomes an affirmation of self, anchored in the quiet crucible of introspection. Emerging from this memory preserves its dual role, both archival and dynamic, speaking to the firmness forged within the survival story. Experiences weave within the fabric of cautionary tales, playing both teacher and record keeper. Here, the hiker becomes a student to the messages etched across canyon walls, along winding paths well traveled by the wisdom of ancestors. What transpires is a catalog of transformation spoken by time's gentle audience. Fear, the omnipresent companion, emerges as an ally only when confronted and understood. Within the maze, it becomes the crucible of transformation, revealing strength undaunted by shadowed worries. Addressing fear becomes a prophet's wisdom, leading to acceptance as a guide rather than a barrier. It offers the key to unlocking the profound knowledge of navigating beyond self-imposed boundaries. In this odyssey, the hiker learns that harmony wrenches resilience from dominance, building an appreciation for the symbiosis of existence. The land's lessons, tethered to the heart, spin a narrative that transcends time, illuminating spaces where humanity discovers its echo within life's fractal beauty. It is here that personal endurance becomes a revelation, whispered from one soul to another across the expanse of wilderness, transformed by the journey home. Beneath the vibrant streets of Paris lies a world seldom seen, a labyrinth of tunnels etched into the very bones of the city, a place where the whispers of history hang in the air, like the dust they stir. These catacombs, originating from the ancient limestone quarries, form a network that spans over 200 miles, a sprawling ossuary housing the remains of millions. Within this shadowy domain, where only a small section is officially open to the curious eyes of tourists, stories of exploration and mystery linger in the uncharted depths. Here, amid the darkness, legends take root and grow. In the stillness of these underworld passages, whispers from the past call out, adding layers to the catacombs' storied history. From the clandestine gatherings during the French Revolution to tales of those who ventured too deep and lost their way, the catacombs continue to fascinate. Time is but a suggestion in these corridors, blurring the edges between legend and reality. It is here that the tale of a group of teenagers unfolds. Drawn by youthful curiosity and the tales shared in hushed tones, they embarked on an adventure into these forbidden realms, unaware that they were about to inscribe their own horror story onto the stones. The allure of the catacombs, with their darkened corridors and hidden secrets, proved irresistible to these teenagers, a blend of youthful defiance and the thrill of the forbidden urging them forward. Their journey began not as a quest for fortune nor glory, but from a dare built on whispered urban legends. Armed with little more than a camera, crude maps, and the spirit of adventure, they stepped into the abyss, driven by a wild and reckless impulse to seek out what lay beyond the boundaries of safety and legality. Their hearts raced as they ventured deeper into the embrace of the catacombs, leaving the glow of the city far behind. The tunnel walls, marked by graffiti and the signs of previous wanderers, soon gave way to the untouched bones of the earth. As they pressed forward, the light around them waned, swallowed by an overwhelming darkness that erased excitement and imposed a solemn quietude. Each footfall echoed back at them, joining the cadence of history, each step a journey deeper into the soul of the city. The silence of the catacombs was a living entity, pressing upon them with a weight that had accumulated over centuries. In the absence of sound, imagination filled the void, weaving stories and fables into the fabric of their consciousness. As explorers driven by curiosity, they found themselves caught between reality and the histories whispered by the stone, a reminder of those whose stories never reached the surface, lost to time and the depths. Deep within, they began to sense their vulnerability in this ancient chasm, and the thrill of exploration ebbed into understanding and respect for the power of the unknown. Night came, though the distinction was lost in the catacombs' darkness. As the hours stretched into eternity, excitement morphed into a creeping anxiety. Each tunnel mirrored the last, an endless maze where direction became an abstraction. The flickering beams of flashlights, their only defense against the deep shadows, seemed to grow weaker, shortening in reach and reassurance. The first night was spent with mounting uncertainty, replacing their initial zeal, as they confronted the darkness that now seemed alive with possibility, friendly and threatening in the same breath. In such conditions, sleep eluded them, each imagined terror magnified by the scope of their surroundings. Huddled together against the cold stones, they found solace in shared warmth, a fragile comfort in a place indifferent to their presence. Doubts that had lain dormant surfaced, whispered along with rising panic. Yet, it was the birth of a bond forged under duress, a silent pact of survival in the face of the catacombs' unyielding embrace. The catacombs held them in a temporal net where time lost its shape, slipping and stretching unrecognizably. Hunger gnawed at their insides, and thirst parched their throats, stealing energy once fueled by adventure. The second day turned into a test of endurance, each step both a potential guide towards safety or a descent into despair. Desperation threatened to break the thin veneer of composure, turning whispered fears into pointed accusations, and camaraderie frayed under the stress. Yet, within fear's recesses, a resolve bloomed. They learned to move with a purpose, to regulate panic, and conserve their dwindling strength against the trials ahead. Amid their journey, the camera became a silent chronicler of their ordeal, capturing moments of intimacy and vulnerability, hope intertwined with despair. It became a confessional medium, recording their transformation from bright-eyed adventurers to figures haunted by shadows, extending from past to present. In those captured frames, each desperately sought continuity, stability, a reminder that they were real, anchored to a world beyond the whispers of history and uncertainty. Sounds, ethereal and distant, sometimes echoed through the catacombs, further fraying their senses. It was a symphony composed of soft murmurs, imagined footsteps, and whispers resonant with the breath of ages past. Shadows danced at the periphery of vision, casting them into a landscape where mystery held sway, each sound pressing them back upon themselves with tales of spirits believed to wander these bones, phantoms of history shaping doubts. These spectral echoes, intensified by isolation, began their erosion on the group's collective psyche. Imagination heightened perceived dangers, and within the confines of uncertainty, fear transcended consciousness, sowing seeds of paranoia. Yet confronting this fear, they discovered it to be a catalyst they could wield, an unfamiliar dual force, both constraining and empowering. In grappling with their fears, they stumbled upon latent reserves of strength and adaptability. Yet, amidst this isolation, unity sparked. They found grace within shared struggle, reassembling alliances once cracked, compacting their purpose as one against the maze's winding threats. Fragile bonds mended in that darkness, cultivating a new complementarity, a camaraderie against forces both external and internal. They found, in each other's faces, the echoes of wisdom, drawn from panic into newfound solace, their essence transcending through the dark-bound corridors into the calm light of a greater understanding. Hope surfaced unexpectedly on the third day, an inkling of salvation, tethered to the subtlest shifts in subterranean air. With this spark came direction, a rekindling of the resolve that reinvigorated characters, their myriad doubts coalescing into singular determination. Clarity returned. It moved them with precision through ancient veins, imposing coherence upon scattered fears. This realization was a return to reason, drawing heightened awareness to commandments of purpose, driving their faltering steps toward escape from this realm of foregone ancestors. Fortune unfolded with unfamiliar faces, as relief appeared in the guise of the catapults, a subterranean brotherhood acquainted with the labyrinth's endless turns. They, too, were drawn to these secrets beneath the city, keeping alive the very lore making them keepers of unseen knowledge and passage. These catapults extended hands as guides, whispering softly, bringing recognition and empathy, as they offered not just rescue, but companionship, born from the depth of experience shared in this domain. As the formal rescue unfolded, it marked the shift from struggle to relief. Law enforcement traced their steps through the wavering void, and the group emerged, shadows slipping upon the surface of light-entwined knowledge and propriety. Once retrieved, they faced the consequences of trespassing uncharted realms, wearing the mantle of both survivors and trespassers, a tale of caution within the city's watchful eyes. Reflecting upon their escapade, they reaped lessons in humility and the fine line between audacity and recklessness. Their venture, audacious and naive, unfolded beyond mere discovery, teaching them about respect and the vastness of both mystery and choice. With newfound maturity, they embraced wisdom, the understanding that while adventure calls seductively, pressing beyond known boundaries does not dismiss the inherent weight of time retained in hidden vaults of the earth. Within themselves, each knew the impact of these experiences, a shared intersection of memory and journey filled with awareness of fragile life etched upon history's shadow. For some, the dirge of the catacombs splashed resilience across future caution, and for others, it ignited a flame of curiosity, a wanderlust ignited anew, tempered now by history's embrace. They bore their marks down the corridors of everyday life, each venture tailored by their catacomb-explored selves. Even after returning above ground, fascination lingered, spreading through the corridors of myth, an obsession thrumming through the city's heart. Stories told and retold in different lights forged anew the lure of the catacombs, scaling across boundaries beyond sight, touching on the broader human narrative built upon whispers and echoes of history unmapped. It was a testament, a story elliptical and boundless, retold with every breath across the city. Healing, too, followed through the shared recounting. The shadows cast below the city peeled to reveal truths introspective, a legacy of survival forming bridges over silent cracks. Collective support blossomed, drawing out hope hidden within catacombs' mixture of continuum and seclusion. It became weaving's tapestry, familiar, a pattern contiguous within love, relic bound by experience shared. A bolstered understanding moved them, through risk to restoration, through fear to fortitude, sinews woven in continuous embrace. In emerging stronger, they began to glimpse the catacombs' bygone cultural significance, how these corridors of story link those above with those from below, their ordeal becoming another entry among countless winding through time's chambered memory. This history, preserved there, breathes an incantation sequestered beneath Paris, the city an eternal caregiver to culture's invisible threadwork, drawing together elements through occasion bound yet abundantly unbinding archaic origin. Through these corridors, myth intertwines with history, the sacred and profane scrolled through centuries into modern exploration. In respectful deference to this legacy, the youths imbibe every nuance, a lasting appreciation drawn from sequestered introspection, channels beneath surface squares. Empowered by lessons hard-won, they saw futures traced upon preservation's compass, lines measured inside hallowed air, and lessons taught upon wanderers' tread, embraced once astray. They, custodians on borrowed passage, planned expeditions mindful and respectful, guardians of newfound wisdom nourishing their course, adopting reverence for exploration's embrace. With every intention inaugurating care, imagination bounds channeling choices along trails newly defined, illuminated from lives hidden on visible ledges. Their ventures envisioned with legacy's inherited strength, honed through trial's bitter embrace, ensuring exploration tempered by persistence, navigated by silent embers held within radiance, fine-tuned for imagined dimensions awaiting. And so, the tale of the catacombs concludes its chapter of reflection. The voices of the daring now added to the underworld's story, woven seamlessly into the rich tapestry of history, legend, and the interstitial threads that bind them into a whole, a soft echo against the caverns lost in time. In the mesmerizing stillness of the Alps, where snow-capped peaks merge with the sky, the journey of a lone skier unfolded. Here in this sanctuary of silence and danger, his tale began. A man drawn to the inviting slopes, unaware of the icy abyss awaiting to engulf him. His every movement etched fine arcs into the snow beneath a vast blue expanse, each ski turn a silent dance with destiny, the mountain whispering ancient tales of those who braved its eternal challenges. The glacier, a timeless flow of ice, kept its secrets carefully hidden, a vast, enigmatic realm beneath deceptively tranquil surfaces. Each crevasse concealed by the thick crust of snow became an unmarked boundary between sanctuary and peril. Our skier, an ordinary figure amidst this grand stage, was poised on the brink of an extraordinary ordeal, a brush with mortality that would test the limits of his endurance and spirit. It was a morning draped in crystal clarity, a winter wonderland bathed in sunlight, the air sharp and filled with the fresh scent of pines. This serene backdrop was deceptive, for it hid a lurking threat in the form of an unseen crevasse lying in wait beyond the next ridge. His skis cut through the powder with practiced ease, movements dictated by the familiar rhythm of the slopes, unaware of the silent mouth ready to claim him. The earth seemed to tremble with anticipation before giving way beneath him. In a heart-stopping instant, the ground disappeared, and he was seized by gravity's irrevocable pull. This abyss, the glacier's secret heart, swallowed him whole, plunging him into a world stripped of sunlight. Time warped in those moments, a swift descent into shadow, where the dazzling world above became an unfathomable memory. Down, down he fell, an endless drop into icy blackness, his surroundings tightening with a claustrophobic embrace. Silence enveloped him, devouring the echoes of life that had once been his constant companions. As he reached the crevasse's floor, injured and cold, his senses awakened to the gravity of his plight. Entombed within a dense fortress of ice, where survival seemed as remote as the stars. In this frozen tomb, isolation reigned supreme. The crevasse acted both as a hostile captor and a sacred sanctuary, a paradoxical cathedral filled with echoes of solitude. The unyielding cold seeped into his bones, whispering promises of defeat and death. It became a profound refuge where inner and outer worlds collided, demanding of him not just physical fortitude, but a profound introspection of the self. Exploring this isolation brought clarity and an unexpected peace amidst the relentless quiet. Deprived of reassurance from above, he learned to turn within, examining his fears and beliefs. The desperate wait for rescue shifted from a furious anticipation to a meditative reflection, the struggle transforming into a journey of discovery. Each heartbeat resounded as a testament to defiance, a promise to hold on to the flickering ember of hope even amid darkness. Mental resilience emerged as a potent force, combating the icy tendrils of despair seeking to extinguish his hopes. It was here, in this battlefield of the mind, that his survival took root. Faced with the tangible threat of death, he fashioned an inner sanctuary, a protective light against creeping shadows. Thoughts became his allies, remembering past joys and envisioning future reunions, igniting sparks of warmth within the glacier's chill. His spirit glimmered with newfound strength, drawing upon memories of cherished moments, loved ones, and dreams yet to unfold. Despite the ice encasing him, his heart refused surrender, bolstered by a steady belief that triumph was etched into his destiny. Imagination became a critical refuge, an escape that softened his harsh reality and offered glimpses of life beyond the ice. Time's peculiar march accompanied his captivity within the glacier, a variable pulse mimicking the rhythms of life above. Days and nights blurred into a continuous present, punctuated by the subtle cues of his own heartbeat. Traditional clocks had ceased to matter. Each breath became a marker of time, each cycle a celebration of existence against odds defying comprehension. Opportunities for rest and reflection emerged, fleeting respites amid this landscape of adversity. Protected, even if temporarily, by the glacier's embrace, he savored each moment as a gift, nurturing silent opportunities to strengthen resolve. This adversity transformed into an extensive lesson on endurance, a symphony of stillness underscoring resilience and revealing hidden strength to persevere. Confronted by the relentless gnaw of hunger and thirst, his immediate needs echoed harshly off the icy walls. Yet, within destruction lay salvation. The snow itself, a resource for quenching thirst, presented a paradoxical ally. Forced to balance physical exhaustion with necessity, he exercised creativity in securing sustenance, channeling his instincts toward a delicate equilibrium between action and inaction. Ancestral instincts took root, whispering ancient wisdom beneath the surface. Stripped of external validation, he relied on these internal guides, an evolutionary toolkit refined through millennia. These primal responses honed his survival instincts, steering him through the glacier's silent terrain and maintaining a delicate dance between survival and surrender. The absence of sound deep in the glacier was deafening, echoing the clamor of thoughts within his mind. This internal dialogue provided an oasis amidst debilitating silence, allowing conversations woven from memory and aspiration to unfold. Through silent discussions with himself, he reconciled fears with faith, each echoing thought a lifeline binding him to the world he longed to rejoin. In the embrace of complete darkness, he discovered new ways to navigate, a tactile exploration of his prison-turned liberator. His senses, heightened and refined in absence of light, guided him through this shadowed domain. He embraced the richness of texture and touch, each exploration awakening an understanding of the space that surpassed visual fidelity. Listening acutely for sounds from outside the crevasse became vital, a delicate art of hope attuning him to potential rescue. Every distant echo, real or imagined, nurtured anticipation, fortifying his belief that salvation could arrive in the next moment. Each vibration brought hope, binding him to the promise that beyond his icy isolation, connection awaited. Amidst the void, memories surfaced like gentle specters of life once lived. Recollections of loved ones brought company in solitude, their whispers offering comfort and emboldening his resolve. These remembered lives provided a tether to the broader fabric of existence, reinforcing his journey from despair to hope, allowing him to revel in moments that still held meaning. Daydreams painted possibilities across the bleakness, offering a canvas to imagine vibrant futures. These imagined landscapes did not ignore the present challenge, but rather expanded his vision beyond it, reinforcing life's vibrancy beyond the glacier's grip. Daydreams offered an empowering escape that shaped his perception of reality, channeling his energy toward potential rather than defeat. Faith wielded itself as a steady ally, a powerful underpinning to courage in the face of unknown futures. Whether grounded in religious belief or simple spirituality, faith provided solace and strength, a resolute companion transforming hardship into an odyssey of survival. Embracing this faith renewed his courage, lending an unfaltering strength to persevere against overwhelming odds. The beauty held within the ice became a revelation, a rich tapestry quietly marveling at existence's complexity. The glacier, once an antagonist, revealed its elegance, painting its narrative with hues of sapphire and aquamarine. This unexpected paradigm deepened his appreciation for the profound communion between life and seemingly barren landscapes. Triumphant affirmations of resilience emerged from the glacier's embrace. Each whispered assurance reinforced his strength, dissolving hesitations and imbuing purpose. Words once thought lost resounded with power, fostering a profound understanding of self that anchored him within the ice yet pointed resolutely toward freedom. In this endurance, shared with all explorers of nature's edges, he discovered kinship, a bond with others who ventured their paths through shadow and light. The shared and enduring spirit of survival wove a collective tapestry across time, transcending individual struggles to form a comforting fellowship. He became part of this timeless narrative, drawing strength and wisdom from interconnected experiences. The cycle of surrender and renewal guided him, revealing rebirth as the glacier's most enduring gift. Acceptance fostered transformation, providing clarity and compassion through newfound understanding. This eternal Sayre test facilitated rebirth, propelling him across boundaries of comprehension toward new beginnings. A crescendo of light heralded his eventual rescue, splitting the ice with its welcome arc. Liberation reconnected him to the fabric of possibility, awakening his spirit to the truth of life's inherent beauty. Each moment of deliverance celebrated the strength that lay not only in survival, but in the profound growth born of trial. Returning from the glacier enriched him, a humble pilgrim now blessed with clarity. Each breath embraced the sun's warmth again. Friends and family basked in his renewed presence. His path, once embattled, now glowed with the promise of untraversed possibilities, weaving himself back into life's vibrant tapestry, a testament to the power of hope and human spirit, eternally undefeated against nature's silent call. Beneath the gentle roll of Poland's verdant hills lies a shadowy world, a labyrinth woven deep into the earth where time stands arrested. The Wieliczka salt mine, a testament to the endurance of human spirit and geological ingenuity, murmurs of tales both grand and grim, echoing through its crystalline halls. Stretched back to the heart of the 13th century, the mine, with its miles of serpentine passages and glimmering chambers, is an architectural wonder born of brine and toil. Stones within these corridors whisper not only of salt and sweat, but of stories carved with the chisel of history. This place, once throbbing with labor and devotion, offers a hushed tribute to the men who first transformed it into one of the world's oldest salt repositories. The mine, an unyielding monument to their efforts, swathes itself in intricate carvings and secret shrines, solemn chapels where stalagmites of salt-born tears have crystallized into eternal symbols of faith and persistence. But well beyond its storied salt sculptures and spiritual icons, the mine hides another narrative beneath its mineral-veiled cocoon. A narrative buried like the very rock it harvested. The life of those forgotten during the brutal tableau of World War II. The Second World War, in its ruthless hunger, twisted the mine's hallowed breadth into a grim prison, echoing with sounds not of hammers shaping beauty, but of clandestine cries stifled by grime and shadow. Under the iron reign of the Nazi regime, the grandeur became a grim sepulchre, where the captive laborers clawed against stones that would neither budge nor echo their torment. Daily, they began their bleak dance with desperation. An eternal dusk, where sunlight never graced flesh nor spirit. Within these corridors, salt was the language, and survival, its harrowing dialect. The Nazi war machine, meticulous in its darkness, had coiled these tunnels with an insidious purpose, transforming them into an industrial gulag under the guise of salt extraction. Here, the prisoners, cloaked in perpetual night, fought the ensnaring grip of isolation. As pickaxes struck silent stone, each reverberation echoed stories unspoken, dreams unrealized, a grim symphony played to an audience of mineral specters. The harsh reality, unadorned by the mind's inherent beauty, was that of backbreaking labor among stinging salt dust, a veil smothering lungs as hope fluttered thin against the oppressive mantle of war. The mine itself, a land of elusive shadows, clung to tales of those who entered its embrace, yet ever returned to daylight. Amidst the shifting tides of conflict, confusion reigned supreme. Captives vanished into the ashen abyss, where identities dissolved into the very earth that concealed them. Violent tides of history swallowed these souls, leaving behind threads of memory too faint to grasp, too precious to release. Abandoned tools and silent tunnels became the only testament to their flickering presence, shrouded forever in the mine's sullen silence. In the subterranean expanse, whispers of those who had fallen to the obscurity remained, words of resilience spoken in utter darkness, hoping against the firmament of despair. As they navigated this underworld deprived of the sun's tender glow, rumors drifted through the phosphorescent haze about those who meandered too far, swallowed whole by the void. These vestiges of folklore were left to roam the crevices, entire lives etched into the salt walls as haunting reminders of the mine's omnipotent grasp. With the withdrawal of Nazi forces came a disarray, a hurried exodus within the chaos, and the chance for freedom snuffed out alongside the extinguishing of torches. Lost bodies, entwined with the mine's framework, rested where the surface became a mere legend, a truth unrepentant, buried beneath rock and time. Yet even in this sepulchral setting, the forgotten tales persisted, their echoes singing through the salt-laden air, compelling not just a mourning but a story incomplete, breathing silently, yet steadfastly, within the cold entrails of the earth. In this juxtaposition of grandeur and gloom, the mine's stark shadows concealed the indomitable force of community forged in extremity. Beneath the pressing mantle of stone and salt dust, perseverance grew from shared struggle, culture, and a kindred hope. These underground alliances, crystallizing in adversity, burgeoned into ties unbreakable, forged in the crucible of survival. As meager flames flickered against dark horizons, humanity flared brightly, not just in isolation, but as testament to the unquenchable will persisting through the mine's smothering confines. Here, within shadowed enclaves, art was both endeavor and salvation. Steady hands, guided by visions away from darkness, carved symbols that would endure when voices faltered. Altar slabs and chapel walls, echoes of belief chiseled beneath granite's cold exhale. Each piece, born of the mine's stark embrace, spoke silently of dreams, yet unlived, of hopes warm enough to melt even the salt's firmest resolve. As years passed and tides of peace unfurled free reverie to roam again the sun-dappled cafres of the world above, explorations within Fielichka's depths renewed, led by those eager to illuminate the mine's whispered truths. Through diligence met with reverence, each unearthing offered fragments of beings both missed and remembered, unearthed bones telling of lives lived beneath the ground's heavy shadow. With each exploration, a revelation unfurled, breathing solemn understanding into this temple of endurance, proving that even among desolation, humanity's spirit persists. In the remains, sketched tenderly by archaeologists' caring hands, arose not just corporeal proof of lives vanished, but narratives capturing resilience. Through the delicate intersection of bones and narrative, glimmers of stories timidly stretched, unveiling the layered tapestry woven through heartache and survival. The fragment's discovery, a bittersweet gift, voiced tales long shrouded but definitively remembered in the name of history's tapestry, ensuring the stories of those bound to the rock were offered remembrance eternal. The echoes of adversity, threading through the salt's legend, allowed for solidarity to bloom within the mind's cavernous embrace. Spirituality, faith, and kinship flowed resiliently, casting subtle luminous warmth over torment's chill. Within their carved cathedrals and makeshift chapels, faithful gathered to revive strength, to kindle hope from the dull embers of their bound destiny. These montes became sanctuaries of spirit, births of fortitude amid a world starved of light. Above the chambers that tendered both artistry and anguish, the Wieliczka salt mine stood steadfast, its story drawn into educational exploration. Joined by narratives old and new, visitors tread paths of living memory, each step resonating with the lives once anchored within shadows. The ghostly songs of labor and survival sang unheard below, whispers lifting on both breath and silence, calling for acknowledgement through curated exhibitions and eternal dedication to honor and reflection. Tourists and historians alike peer into the mine's depths, engaging in a homage that stretches through time, etching the courage and endurance of those before into the hallowed stone. As feet glide through these hallowed corridors, contemporary awareness threads with ancient resilience. Curators become temporary keepers of the songs enfolded with labor, an eternal transcription of sweat and hope and vigilance. Artifacts rise within this narrative like salt from the rock, a tool preserved, a sculpture hidden, shadows cast by lives who knew the mine's furious pulse. Relics emerge, testimonials to creativity tethered to survival, silent attestations of life wrested from underground gloom. These tokens of past existence, seated within shadows, invite contemplation of struggles endured and inspire reverence for the souls enduring the stories once told only in whispers. Transcending tangible form, these haunted echoes of labor, prayer, and companionship span age and shadow, blooming in present consciousness alive with experience. Melody infuses the mind's essence with tales measured by heartbeats, reverberating resistance with every step along paths now well trodden. These harmonies transcend the boundary of the physical, drawing timeless echoes across the divide, binding what was with what is, legends interwoven for generations timelessly met in unified song. As society retraces steps within these storied halls, the stones themselves become guides, leading across landscapes where memory blooms, wildflowers entangled among salt's transformation. Memorials breathe within these stones, allowing life's faces once submerged to emerge anew, named and dignified, bridging now with then in sacred remembrance. By encasing escapades of survival within woven pall of history, present societies echo the eternal vow to cherish this dance of light against the stark night of history's shaded folds. Together, those who delve within Wieliczka's hallowed bounds encounter legacy both formidable and tender. They're faced with the monument of memory bathed in silver luminescence, seeking meaning through artistry born from necessity, a dialect etched into rock, history written in fleeting mineral sands. curiosity mingles with somber respect, each remnant guarding the past, a witness to the enduring interplay of pain, perseverance, and poignancy shared through years. As the mine remains a steadfast repository of memories, its depths resonate with promises lingering beyond, echoes faithful only to the living past. Here, truth intertwines with time in a process of unending revelation. Future research seeks to unravel this veil, reaching not only for awareness, but for celebration of the human narrative, woven through both rock and resolve. Embracing the fullness of these narratives, humanity is drawn into a connected, universal consciousness. It steps softly against the depth of nature's cathedral, where ancient whispers eternally trace arcs across new horizons, joining them to the dawn of understanding. Within this sacred testimony, the Wieliczka salt mine stands resilient, honoring the heartbeats undeterred within its endless embrace, a story woven by shadows, enduring in memory well beyond the stony paths it graces. In the dim recesses of the earth, where light hesitantly treads, a profound world unfolds, a world of shadows and silence, where the very essence of time seems to dissolve into the eternal continuum of creation's whispers. This hidden realm, veiled in darkness and mystery, speaks a language only those who dare to venture into its depths can hear. Here, among intertwined roots and ancient stone, explorers confront not just the absence of light, but the shadows within their own souls. It is a place demanding respect and humility, where survival becomes an act of willpower and resourcefulness, stripping humanity of its distractions and compelling individuals to confront their inner fears and motivations. Beneath the Earth's surface, time loses its rigid hold, whispering secrets from the dawn of existence. In these hushed corridors, where natural light cannot penetrate, other senses sharpen. The distant drip of water, the cool caress of stone, and the earthy aroma of ancient minerals become the symphony of the unseen. Each footfall into darkness is a step back in time, a connection to a past rarely disturbed, revealing both nature's beauty and its stark indifference to human pursuits. This silent confrontation with our primal selves serves as a haunting reminder. Nature's presence is neither benign nor malevolent, but an eternal, indifferent force shaping humanity's fragile thread woven into the broader tapestry of the world. Journeying into the heart of the earth is as much a psychological voyage as it is a physical one. Isolation in these shadowed realms tests human psychology in profound ways, pulling at sanity's fragile tapestry and courage's steadfast threads. Here, the mind must not waver. A faltering spirit is as treacherous as any physical threat lurking unseen in the dimness. Unchecked, fears quickly transform shadows into colossi, turning corners into potential threats where none exist. The path through such darkness requires not only the resilience of the body, but the endurance of the spirit. Memory, in these isolated halls, becomes a vital ally on the path to return. Recalling maps, routes, and the whisper of winds above ground becomes essential to navigating back towards the light. Those who have ventured far below often speak of how their imagination fills voids, morphing shadows into mythical beasts or ancient spirits. The psyche, ever questing for meaning, crafts narratives that sustain through solitude, showcasing both human ingenuity and our complex dance with the unknown. It is a paradoxical journey that lays bare our mental fragility and resilience, encapsulating the vast chasm between knowledge and faith. Amidst the darkness, history's relics persist. Fossils, prehistoric paintings, and artifacts of lost civilizations lie intact in nature's vault. These remnants serve as portals to epochs when the Earth was vastly different, each item an echo of stories untold by written lore. Such encounters provoke questions about humanity's infancy, the evolution of our planet, and the lives that carved a home out of this ancient domain. This silent dialogue with history challenges our understandings of time and existence, urging explorers to ponder the immensity of the forces that sculpted our world long before human consciousness arose. In these forgotten depths, humility arises from the awareness of our ephemeral presence alongside the eternal sway of geological forces. Every artifact encountered draws a thread to the past, each discovery not just an answer, but an invitation to further inquiry. The immensity of time extends its hand, bidding us to contemplate our connection to our ancestors, nestled within the eternal embrace of our shared history, etched into the Earth's core. Such relics whisper age-old wisdom, awaiting patient listeners to unravel their secrets. Within the Earth's embrace, water acts as a timeless architect, carving landscapes with patient steadfastness and crafting hidden wonders over millennia. This life's flowing lifeblood transforms the underground into grand cathedrals of stalactites and stalagmites, echoing halls and secret lakes. For those trapped within, water oscillates between being lifeline and peril, its presence capable of nurturing survival or heralding doom through rising tides. It is both a celebration and caution, a source of hope as much as a harbinger of despair. In these depths, water's chisel etches grand labyrinths through stone, pathways bewildering and challenging human understanding. These natural mazes delve into the mysteries of both existence and creation, standing as silent monuments to the unyielding power of nature. Their allure and danger resonate profoundly with the human spirit, distilling the raw force of nature that holds both grace and threat in its gentle flow. Explorers find reverence in such spaces, reminders of nature's majesties and terrors in equal measure. Hidden within are creatures that hold their own light. The phenomenon of bioluminescence transforms subterranean darkness into realms of ethereal whisperings and ghostly luminance. Life's adaptation to the absence of sunlight is an eerie miracle of evolution, organisms thriving and illuminating the void. Their gentle glow, hauntingly beautiful, casts a magical ambiance across these ancient galleries, offering explorers both solace and a pause for reflection. In this cascading light, life's tenacity and adaptability brim forth. Each flicker tells of resilience, a manifestation of persistence where visible light cannot reach. The bioluminescence creates a serene beauty, inviting contemplation on the strength of life under adversity, offering a metaphor for hope amidst the dark, an invitation for personal reflection amid these transformative encounters. Even in the deepest darkness, life finds a way to manifest its splendor anew, provoking thoughts on the adaptability within and the light we carry through our imperceptible fears. Through all trials, these hidden realms encapsulate the ultimate test of human spirit and endurance. The challenges, both external and internal, redefine those who endure them, nurturing change that echoes through their lives. Survival carves out a metamorphosis, drawing upon resources deep within, uncovering resilience akin to the heroes of ancient tales. Such an environment tests every dimension of human resolve, demanding creativity, courage, and perseverance against the unknown, Acceptance of nature's indifference imparts a newfound appreciation for existence, a profound understanding of inner reserves previously untapped. Emerging from these domains, survivors carry tales resonant with personal enlightenment, reminders of our delicate connection to the elemental forces guiding our world. This interdependence highlights our relationship with nature, a delicate continuum driving us towards enduring respect for these landscapes and their mystery. The link threads between vulnerability and strength, making clear our need to preserve these ancient realms, integrating them within our awareness and care. Our desire to map the unknown drives exploration into these uncharted territories, compelled by curiosity and the human spirit's unyielding search to know what lies beneath the depths. The complexity of the subterranean world often defies conventional mapping, their hidden twists and ancestral myths befuddling simple understandings. As explorers chart the unknown, they balance exploration with introspection, honoring the mystery that life below retains. Explorations remind us of the Earth's meandering paths, steeped in its secrets, continually expanding our horizons while urging respect for the unexplored. With each venture, explorers tread a delicate line between extending human knowledge and surrendering to the mysterious, an eternal balance of discovery and reminiscence of the universe's broader mystery. In these undertakings, humanity glimpses the infinite, its humility deepening before the cosmic dance shaping all known life and the paths untraveled by the light above. Beneath our feet, mysteries abound that archaeologists and historians strive to unveil: fossils, engravings, ancient sanctuaries. Each discovery challenges our notion of existence and invites a dialogue with the unfathomable past, prompting us to unearth what the ancients have left behind, to remember their voices carried through stone and cavern. Collaboration aids this understanding. Historians, archaeologists, and geologists work hand in hand to unravel these narratives, weaving the tapestry of forgotten human legacies, fostering further inquisitions into humanity's timeline. Every find uncovers a puzzle, each echo prompting reflection on human ingenuity and adaptation. It engages the continuum of human experience, provoking awe for a life lived under primeval conditions and challenging conventional perspectives on existence throughout millennia. Throughout history's folds, adventurers and explorers have broken through into these realms, propelled by equal parts necessity and desire. Their journeys become timeless fables, narratives entwining bravery and illumination, their lives serving as testament to human curiosity's unrelenting quest to understand. Each account reveals intrinsic risks of exploration, yielding transformations of understanding that not only shift the landscape of knowledge, but inspire future generations to push boundaries. The stories of those who dared these depths capture the essence of human exploration, marking the rites of passage for countless others to endeavor into unknown parallels. As explorers traverse these unlit paths, they continue a legacy intertwining history's reality with myths and the enchanting allure of humanity's frontiers. This pursuit remains vibrant, mirroring our evolving relationship with the divine and terrestrial. In stark contrast, the underground universe, unparalleled and unfathomable, stays tethered to the natural world's rhythmic law. Down below, life follows its unerring cycle, a dynamic, untamed dance undisturbed, revealing beauty and peril intertwined. These ventures underscore the immutable natural order, revealing splendor and adversity without bias, showcasing our need to acknowledge the balance between our ambitions and respect for the untamed. Lessons drawn from these expeditions weave into the narrative of humanity's interaction with nature, emphasizing nature as an impartial stage where human exploits are momentarily illuminated under its timeless gaze. This awareness underlines humankind's constant presence within nature's grand equation, not as masters but participants, revealing a profound respect for this continually observed reality. In conclusion, as explorers emerge back into the light from their sojourns into the Earth's hidden realms, they carry with them stories not only of survival and discovery, but of profound change, reflection on the cosmic dance of which we are but fleeting participants. These insights endure, reminding us of the silent power and enigmatic beauty that the Earth's depths hold, a testament to the eternal interplay between light and shadow, life and obscurity, in the majestic tapestry of existence.